Hey!
literally, seriously.
DJ Sticky Nuts.
DJ, what's up, guys? Welcome. So, unlike some people, I choose music that the beat does drop. So, fuck you, Timothy. So, what's up, guys? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 12 of Critical Builds, the show where we look at your stuff and we say things that might help, and sometimes it will change your life forever. So, I am one of your people on the show. I still don't know what to call ourselves. Chris Pabs. You guys may or may not have heard of me. If you haven't, that's okay. I'll just go cry in the corner later on. But joining me today,
Be honest, you're gonna cry in the corner regardless.
yes, absolutely. I can't believe they know me and will cry. If they don't know me, won't cry. But I'll choose a different corner for each topic. But okay, so joining me tonight is a whole range of faces, places, and messes. So let's see who we choose here first. Starting off with blue boy over here.
Oh my God, the dog!
As soon as we start, she's like, "Hey, let me do this to you." What's up, guys? Welcome to Critical Builds. I am one of your hosts, Pabs, because we're hosts of the show.
I never want to say host for some reason, man. I don't know.
That's who we are. What are we saying?
I don't know.
Couple of hosts.
You need to get a little Beetlejuice under your belt, buddy. The hostess with the mostest.
Ooh,
I like that.
I like that a lot.
But
Thanks for coming and watching some Critical Builds. I can't wait to look at your doo-doo.
yeah, let's look at the feces. All right, so next up, we have the man from Jersey who's a little blocky.
Big Tom.
Spilled some beer.
Oh no! Shall we come back to you?
No. I'm good. I got paper towels. I just had to remember what the fuck's going on. I'm in a new place, in a new space. Born to exterminate, though.
Yeah.
Full Metal Dalek. Drinking some
Oh my goodness!
Imperial IPA. The Reckoner.
Oh.
Glad to be here. Got a new mic. Maybe I sound a little better. Maybe I sound a little bit worse. Who knows? Maybe I actually just sound worse in reality, and that's just the way it is. Who knows? We'll find out. Glad to be here. Let's look at some cool stuff and talk about interesting aspects and this wonderful world we call scale modding.
Thank you, Brian. You are a little choppy right now, but I'm guessing that's going to get better because in every stream so far this week. You're really choppy at the beginning, but then you start to improve as the sun goes down. I think your connection may be a little bit nocturnal or vampiric. I don't know. One
It's
of the
not
two.
my fault. I swear to you, it's not my fault.
It's his position to the satellite.
Yes. All right.
And
But
Fox
thank you, Brian.
viewing positions. Let's everybody get some tinfoil and some coat hangers.
They can't read
I don't
my
know.
thoughts.
I suppose
Cut
we're
open the
probably
can
a
of
little bit
Coke,
old
put it
for
around
the,
your router.
We're a little old for the Married with Children audience, but who knows?
All right. Well, thank you, Brian. All right. Next up, we got Mr. Finger Licking Good himself.
Oh my god!
I'm eating
Got
peanut
him.
butter.
Jiffy.
Straight from the jar, you barbarian.
Smooth like my
I
butt.
was eating with carrots, and I got my fingers a little.
This is my personal jar. I keep it on a holster on my belt.
You know, yeah, I'm all about that life, guys.
Natural
Creamy,
creamy Jeff.
mini Jeff. What are we doing again today, guys?
We're critical builds.
Okay, yeah, critical bills. All right, put my critical hat on. Hi,
Man,
guys.
you just licking your finger with peanut
I
butter and
have
put it
no
all
clue what
over
to
your
say after
hair.
that.
Peanut butter Kyle.
But thank you for joining us, Kyle. And then, so for the first time, we have a return guest. This is we haven't had a return guest before. We got
Hey, your boy Uncle Ricky. Hey, oi. Nah, for real, I'm excited to be here. For those that don't know, my name is Joel. I go online as TrueGunpla. And today, I gotta prepare for some IPMS stuff going on. So, what better way to be critical on the internet? You know,
Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Hey,
Look at it.
Look at this picture. You can see my pores. You can see my face.
You
It's
see every
disgusting.
bit.
Take me off of here.
damn
Look at my
high
bits.
def of fucking nation. Look at this dude, man.
Ooh, son.
I'm
Okay.
jealous.
Ooh, son.
Okay.
No, I'm really excited because there hasn't been an IPMS show in a while. So this is a good time to get the rust off. I'm a regional judge here in the South, a little bit in DC. So if you have any IPMS questions, let me know. My inbox is open.
So
When
when's
is
the next
when is the
local event?
Yeah, that's what I was going to
What?
ask. When is the
What
next
am I
local
outta
event?
here? The next local one, I think we got one in December coming up. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's usually like a Raleigh state capital IPMS joint. We had one recently here at Hangar 18. It was pretty dope. It was just like a small little one. And then hopefully, I'm waiting to hear about ODO. That's the big one up here in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
So it should be a lot of fun. And NCMSS in DC is September, I believe.
Oh snap!
It should be a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff going on.
Fancy,
Hopefully they
fancy.
start coming back.
Wow.
Everything's coming back. God damn.
Mhm.
Oh well. All right. So this is the gang today. No Z tonight. He's a little bit preoccupied with some butt stuff that he didn't tell me till last minute.
What?
So yeah, butt stuff.
Only the best.
So without delaying any further, unless anybody has something they want to talk about or something to announce or anything like that. No. We're good to go. All right. So let's go to our first critique of the day.
It's like I have
This is
laundry hanging. Like
Are those your undies?
even my undies and my socks.
Oh, hello. Do you see
All right.
my laundry?
All right. So first critique of the night. It is from this gentleman right here.
Who
At
dat?
Mike 5186, Mr. Mike Stillbore. So is this his first time submitting to the show? I'm pretty sure he's submitted before, right?
It's familiar. His
I think
handle's
it's the first
familiar.
time we're doing a critique.
Okay, first critique of one of Mike's builds. Okay, great. So quick, he doesn't really say anything about his build. So this is the RG Eva Gray Fox custom. And then if there's anything he wants us to focus on, it is the overall quality of paint job and the poses, lighting and LED placements and wiring. So let's go ahead and share that right here. Boom.
I really like this build, man.
Yeah,
I'm a big
it was
fan
really
of-
good.
Of Unit Zero.
Yeah, so we briefly touched upon this like during the clean versus weathered feedback with Zach and Tim and Mike. So this was episode like the third part 3. But here we can really look at it because for one, we don't have Tim breathing down our necks telling us to go to the next one.
Hurry up.
And two, yeah. So this was a fantastic build. I can go out and come out and say it. This was on my list, like my top 12.
Mhm.
Really great use of the EVA Unit Zero.
Yeah.
Come on, man, Gray Fox. Who
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah,
know?
I know, right? It just, yeah.
This is dope.
Perfect combo.
It really is.
No,
I have one of these. I can't wait to build it because there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with Evangelion. And
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the OG series. All you
this
weird
is the,
rebirth people.
Yeah, this is the RG as well. So the
Yeah.
level of detail on this kit, like articulation, is
Mm-hmm.
outstanding compared to the old HGs.
so we're talking about the kit itself, but how about we talk about what Mike did to the kit?
Oh yeah.
Color separation, really, really nice, man. Looks solid. No texture in that paint, from what I see.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of. I was gonna say there was a little bit of texturing. Like there's a little bit of an orange peel that he hid using some semi gloss or some semi matte top coat. So you can see right here on the chest where it's shining, and then his metallics. While I'm not the biggest fan of metallics, but he applied a lot of these very well. But some of them are a little bit. It's got the hand brush syndrome where it's a little bit rough, especially on these pistols right here.
Yeah, the seam line too that's accentuated by the metallic. Plus, in those ridges, man, that's the worst too. I hate those seam lines. They're the hardest to get, right? In the ridges at the top of the barrel, there's just like a little tickle of that in there still. It's such a pain in the butt.
And I feel like Mike, thank you for joining us, man. Mike has a really good point here because sometimes it is really difficult, especially if you have something so iconic as an EVA unit that everybody's seen or millions of people are familiar with, and you're trying to put like a fresh coat of paint on top of that. A lot of 5-star stories builders have this issue where you cannot do a custom paint job on those kits because people will look at you funny.
Yeah. Well, in this particular instance,
Stop looking at me funny.
I like how we know it's Unit Zero, but the paint scheme alludes perfectly to. I just dropped his name, and I just Gray Fox. Like
Gray Fox.
That's got the Gray Fox aesthetic, between the separations of the metallics and all that. And so, even though we know it's Unit Zero, the color scheme alludes to what it's trying to portray, which is Gray Fox, and we completely forget about Unit Zero, which I think is a great execution.
Yeah, even though it's still rocking the nerve, and the Evangelion,
Decals.
Markings. I don't know why I'm failing with that. I do like there doesn't look like there's a lot of buildup between the parts that are masked off. There's some masking, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of one layer isn't too high or too low, whatever.
The stepping, I can see it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Uncle Ricky?
All right, here we go, boys.
I knew he was waiting. He was chomping at the bit.
The first thing that my eye immediately went to, there's a photo where the pistols are going out, fucking spread out, right? The first thing goes to is if you're looking at it, the right or your stage left shoulder. The metallics, there is a lot of texture going on, especially in that shoulder. There's actually some notches in there that I can't really tell if it's part of the kit or if it's something where there was some trying of like nub removal that got far a little too deep. But
in the inside seam,
it's like it's right on the top of the shoulders.
Yeah.
There's one where he's like spreading the guns like full out. And I will say the posability on this kit is awesome.
Yeah,
that's a really great thing about these models, especially that photo, right into that shoulder there. It's a little rough on there. My eye was immediately drawn to that, and I can see texture in there. We're not going to go into photo stuff because you didn't ask about photos, right?
I think he asked about something else.
The
He asked about
LEDs
overall.
LEDs are good. LEDs
Yeah.
look really good. If this was on like a show table, it would definitely be a lot of people crowding around it, taking a look at it. If you're doing metallics and if you are hand painting them, because there's a lot of texture in there, this would actually benefit. God damn it! It would benefit from a wash, a very light wash to bring out. Sometimes selling that texture when it's present will make it come out really good. Also, biggest thing, hands down, plug your holes in your action bases because it's very distracting. Your base is part of the builds. Having that cohesive structure is going to really tell a story. In this scenario, the holes can be a little distracting, but I love how the metal on the base matches the kit.
Yeah.
Like that's dope. Maybe seeing some of the blue in there would have been tight.
You know,
So-
hiding the LED as the plug, really nice.
Yeah, the
That's
umbilical,
sick.
umbilical plug.
Yeah, it works on this build.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like with the Eva kind of thing. So I mean, in terms of usually, if this was like say Gundam, and you had that wiring behind them, like that would be something to call out. But this it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
depends
do
on
wish
the rest of the vignette.
I do wish there was a little bit more. And I'm guessing this is just because of the limitations of where you're taking this photo. There's a little bit more height, right? Like there's because it looks like there's supposed to be a little bit more verticality in this, but
In the
he
light
didn't have the
box, yeah.
space to do it. Yeah, he didn't have the space to do it, so he placed it a little bit lower. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, in that picture, it probably would have been nice to not have the base shown and central in on, him jumping and doing that pose.
Yeah, this is where you would take your front facing angle, right? Right now it's kind of coming at this like top down. Take it from a bottom down. So it looks like it's jumping like a comic action shot. Oh my god, that should have been dope. It still looks dope though, which is awesome.
So Mike, I am a big fan of your posing. Like your posing is very kinetic. It conveys motion. And a lot of them also convey verticality. It's just there's just a bit of a misstep when you're taking a photo from the wrong. Well, I say wrong, but from a different angle. It's not necessarily wrong. It's just if you want a more intensified version of the photo you're taking, consider taking it from another step or another side, and that'll really increase the thing you're trying to portray.
It sells it well.
Pab said to me once, "Don't be afraid to move the camera and leave the kit where it is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try different angles, some dynamic, camera angles where you don't have to keep moving the kit to dynamic poses. You leave it in its pose and you move the camera to give it that dynamic feel.
Yeah.
My favorite photo right here. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say this is unfortunately where photo tents have a massive issue because we're in most of these photos you see the lines of the photo tent, so doing that rotating method where it's in the same pose in this particular shoot it's not really accessible to this person because they're gonna have the sidewall, they're gonna have the creases in the boxes, creases in the background paper, even you can see a little bit of where it's kind of bokeh out a little bit, but in that light box you're restricted to what you can do. But I will say for this being in a light box, it's definitely a lot being done, which is tight.
Like my favorite shot out of this is this guy right here. Like this guy is not only it's not only an iconic pose of Gray Foxes, but it brings out like a certain personality from your build. Like it doesn't just bring out that this is an Eva painted as Gray Fox. This is an Eva unit, and it's establishing a certain identity that's very similar to that of the character that you are paying homage to. Right. So, it follows, the rules of good composition, good thirds. It has a decent ratio. I know we're talking about the photos and stuff like that, but it's just a part of the presentation, especially for a show like this. So it's
Oh yeah,
that's a really good way to sell that background base too with the wires because you see a little bit going over the head, so you're getting it's plugged in. This thing's ready to fucking go off.
Fucking go. But yes, so Mike
in the background.
So Mike, fucking excellent job, dude. I've seen. I mean, I've seen this build around, and I'm like I said, when I saw it during the Clean versus Weather stuff, when we were looking through, I was like, man, this is really cool.
Yeah.
You did a fantastic job, and hopefully we get to see more of your builds on the show.
But we will, because
Great job, man. I like
guaranteed.
it. Gives me things to do. I'm like, I can't wait to work on this thing.
So
Yeah.
my favorite thing about that build that we just looked at is that it makes me excited to work on the model that I have in my backlog, and I think that that is fucking important when it comes to making models. Is that you yourself are excited about what you're building, but other people are getting excited by looking at your shit. And that's
And I get hyped on this show because of that reason. Because I get to see this shit I normally miss because of dumb fucking algorithms and shit. I get to see it on here. And hear you all your takes. I'm like, damn, all right, I want to do that. I want to do a little Eve action.
I like where his head was at with that. Like it's like inspiration, kind of like, you know what? I didn't think about turning Unit 0 into Grey Fox. That's a sweet idea. Well, I might get some ideas from it, now too, that open up the doors of possibility.
Yeah. I mean, if we just take a tangent real quick, is that not why we share our work in the first place?
That's why I do.
To hope to inspire. Yeah. Show off your work that you're proud of and hope it has some
hold yourself accountable.
Response.
Yeah, well, there's that, I guess, but accountability is subjective.
Like, I mean, I feel like you fall into two kind of camps, right? In an ideal world, you're either sharing because you want to inspire others to do what you're doing, or you are recording what you're doing because you just want to record what you're doing as sort of a gallery of sorts, right? Like you're curating your shit so that you can.
I think there's a third one too, Pass, but we're not going to talk about that one.
I said in an ideal world. I didn't say in the real world.
The real world.
Utopia.
Yes. Okay.
I share myself to infect other people with thoughts.
Make the brain flow.
Yeah, I like to make your juices move in there.
He's the juice virus.
All right.
All right. So next critique. Moving on right along, if I have the right name on here. Okay, great. All right. So moving right along. Next critique. Just a quick FYI. Most of our submissions tonight are critiques because nobody is submitting for features.
Do I have to lecture you guys again?
So if you guys, it doesn't matter what level you're at. All right. If you want people to see your builds, you want to see how you've improved from your last build, or if you just want to show people something cool you've done, submit for a feature. Have us look at it. We're not going to critique it. We're going to just show it to everybody.
Let us enjoy your work.
What we like about it.
Yes, exactly. So
you can show it. Yeah, you're down with work in progress is good too. It's okay.
100%, and it can be any model. It doesn't have to be Gunpla. It doesn't have to be Mecha. It doesn't have to be Robo. You can do whatever you want, man. All right, as long as.
Can I submit my painted toys?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Of course.
100%.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's all the way back there. Piece of shit. And Bill, it's got to see. We're happy to see you too, man.
Hey, Bill.
All right. So next critique, we have this gentleman right here. Good friend of the show, Sam L. Slowery, 1205 on Instagram, uncalled for Gunpla on Facebook, and he has quite the description. So please bear with me. So the build name is the Astray Turn Red Carbon. This is not only the first build that I have done for a competition, which is the Clean versus Weather competition, but it is also the first kit that I airbrushed, added details, and was able to fully finish. I have always loved the aesthetic of the Astray Gundams. To me, it seemed like the samurai of Gundams. When I saw the Turn Red being released, I immediately ordered it and snapped it together when it arrived. At that point, I knew I wanted to eventually paint the kit, but my ADHD and other things made me put it into its box, snapped together where it sat until the Clean versus Weather build. The one thing that bothered/inspired me about the kit was actually the key part of it, the swords. Each one is much bigger than the actual suit itself. To help the story of realism, I took inspiration from cars to make them strong and fast. What do they build hypercars from? The carbon fiber and, I don't like how you spell this, aluminium. It's not aluminum.
Aluminum.
No, fuck off. Almost the entire frame itself is painted to look like it's carbon fiber. So I'm going to start sharing because this is a particularly long one. Let's see. It's carbon fiber. To then add some color separation on the frame, I painted over some paints with Mr. Hobby Crystal Ruby Red. All of the joints are painted in alclad aluminium. I also painted some of the parts in alclad gunmetal and Mr. Hobby dark gray. Keep going. Okay.
Man, look at that aluminum, guys.
The outer armor, I'm still going. The outer armor is painted Mr. Hobby GX Metal Red. I then did a coat of Mr. Hobby Deep Clear Red on most of the pieces, but left some uncovered for some color separation. The main chest is done with some carbon fiber effect, some alkali gunmetal, Mr. Hobby Dark Gray, and Mr. Hobby Red. I also did some washes on some parts to help with a pop of detail. This was also my first time doing any enamel washes, and even though some of it turned out fine, there is definitely room for improvement. I did all of the washes via hand painting. I lost the decals that came with the kit, so all the decals are mecha decals.
He's not here. We don't need to suck up to him.
I just feel like every time I say the name, like his little elfish ear just prick up.
Yeah, he's like a little.
Decals.
I'm sure that he has like a little like weirdo sensor that like is like this. It's like a little elephant or something.
Like royalties.
Merry Christmas! Every time someone mentions that shit. I don't know.
And then let's see. There are also 3 finishes on the kit. The frame and most of the kit has a Mr. Super Clear Gloss. The midsection of the chest is done with Mr. Top Coat UV Cut Flat. And all of the red armor on the mech itself, along with some of the more visible carbon fiber, is finished with SMS 2K. I learned a lot from the kit. I had some pieces break due to the panel lining. I guess I didn't have as thick of a gloss coat as I should have. The customizations aren't as clean as they should be, and most of all, I learned that while the carbon fiber looks great, it works best on less detailed, smooth parts. I do feel like I rushed this kit, but overall, I am happy with the outcome. I will be picking up another Astray soon and giving it another go and paint a lot more of the details. Somewhere out here in Chicagoland, Z's pants are getting tight.
Yeah, it's just real rock.
Someone say ashtray. Oh,
Can you zoom into the crotch? Like,
Absolutely, sir.
You get the whole screen.
see, we just got Tim and Z Hard in the same.
Doesn't it look like a?
Hey, you guys.
And then Gunpla Miami says, whenever anybody mentions make mecha decals, a builder gets their wings.
Well, maybe that's the case. If Jimmy Stewart is real, everyone clap your hands.
So I'm going to say it right here. I'm going to say up the very top well before anybody ever says anything about the build. Sam, well done.
Yeah.
You did a really good job here. Like I know this was your first time doing anything custom. This is your first airbrush paint job is as an attempt at an overcoat, which is one of the more difficult kind of things to try to wrap your head around. So like excellent job, man. So yeah, I just wanted to start off with that because I know you even though I wasn't allowed to say anything, you kept sending me photos anyway during the competition, and I had to keep quiet, but I am particularly happy with your progress. So please keep it up. Like keep doing this. Keep improving. Keep making moves. Keep moving forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it when builders grab life by the horns. Like, you know what? I want to do that. Never done it before. Let's do it. And you took on a lot of like more technical painting skills for your first go, and that to me is, grade A example of how we should treat our passions in the hobby. It's it's okay to be afraid of something, but don't let it stop you from doing it. Like, whether you pass or fail is not part of the thing. It's about getting out there and doing it, and
the next
seeing
time you
how
try
you
something
come
like
out on the other end.
You're gonna fucking kill it, bro.
Oh yeah, and this is very well done too for first time. Very well done. Like, I myself did not do this well the first time I tried any of this shit. Not even close.
No.
So
Not at all.
I wish because it's still boxed up, but the very first overcoat I had ever done was with the Musha, the Shin Musha Gundam, the one that uses the 2.0 frame. I used the same things that he kind of used here. I used some Alclad enamel red and fucking Alclad chrome and all that stuff, and then I top coated it with the fucking floor polish.
Pledge.
Future.
Yeah, as I was taking it down when I was moving house last year, I saw it and it was just. It looked like
back in the box.
It looked like a pair of 70-year-old testicles had shrunk.
Oh,
it was bad.
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow. I'd love to see a picture of this.
I will send you guys. Private photos.
Yes, please.
I don't know. Please, I'm good.
I want to see it.
No, I mean, in
Anyway,
fact, Julio's
let's-
interest
Alright,
was
yep.
shocking. I'm shocked.
Let's talk
All right,
about the
guys.
build real quick.
Yeah, we're here. So one thing I do want to point out,
Okay.
and this isn't more or less a critique of this build, but more or less, hey, I know you're down for challenge, and I want to kind of pose a challenge for you in your future builds. As you go to perfect these things, I noticed you took some time to paint some of the details, like we see here in the shoulder. I want you to kind of work on some part separation with masking and stuff, because this kit has a huge level of detail that you could really could build upon in the future. Mind you, for this, because you're just starting out, baby steps are always key, but just something to keep in the back of your head for future builds. When a kit comes with details already kind of built into it, where you don't have to scribe or modify, take advantage of those. Do some part separation, mask some sections out, go with multi-tone, grays and gradients and stuff like that to kind of really show the depth and dimension of a kit. And you've made great attempts in it with the shoulder and stuff, and that kind of just goes to show how effective doing something like that really kind of gives a realistic feel to a toy kit, essentially. And with a kit like this being as detailed as it is, things like that kind of hey, I don't have to do anything modify, I just have to paint these different parts and really kind of give it some dimension. So something to take in consideration is you see the straps on this barrel, you could paint that a different gray, or some of the multi-layers on this shield, you can paint those different tones, or parts of the frame you can kind of mix match instead of just one color fits all kind of thing, because it really gives it that realistic depth and dimension that you wouldn't normally see from a toy that's just kind of paint maybe in 3 colors and solid pieces. So just something to consider in the future as you progress in your painting. Okay, maybe I'll start seeing some of the parts that the kit naturally gives me and just kind of separate them and stuff like that. Mask them off, paint them a different tone, maybe just a shade higher or a shade lower than the base color, and it really kind of makes it pop. And a kit like this would have really benefited from just that little bit of because you can hand paint some of these things, stuff like that, to really kind of make it pop.
Yo, I don't think Kyle breathed that entire
He's
line.
breathing through his nose.
channeling-
If I breathe, I die. Air is bad.
So, I agree with Kyle. So I'll get to my criticisms of this now. So the first thing I immediately noticed when I looked at these, so we're just talking about the kit right now, is you were definitely a little heavy-handed with your airbrush. You applied too much too quickly. So you had gotten a lot of a lot of what's the right word for it, Julio? Say again?
Pooling.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
a lot of pooling.
thumbprint on that shoulder, my dude.
Yeah.
Careful.
Yep, there was a thumbprint. So that was my next part. So if you look at this black right here, you can see there's definitely a lot of texturing, a lot of very quickly applied paint that's not going to level out too well. So just be a little trigger control is a very feathering. Thank you is a kind of a hard thing to.
It's better to do more coats of a lighter layer than to do one or two heavy coats.
Yeah.
More you're better off building up. Think like oil painters or classical painters when they're painting something, they're building up layers of transparent colors and stuff like that to give that rich depth and those wonderful colors. So think about it like that. It's okay to use thinner, it's okay to thin your paints out a bit more than you maybe expect them to, and lay down more coats. You have to be patient. At least with acrylics. I'm sorry, I'm speaking from the plane of acrylics. But you guys use enamels more than me.
Yeah, that typically applies to other paints too, Brian. So that's good food for thought. Mind you, the specifics of the ratios are different, but super light coats, build it up, let the colors naturally get where they go. And I know when I first started painting, I was in a rush to fucking do everything, so my finishes weren't the best. Especially when you have a clean kit like this, you definitely finish is key, because when you throw a gloss on it, everything shows.
Pops hard, man.
Yeah, that is kind of the thing with high gloss kits. You tend to if you're not finding that golden kind of a balance of high gloss and amount of gloss that you use, you'll either have way too much and you'll start pooling, and you'll start to orange peel, or you won't have enough and you'll speckling and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely not a fun time. And it's you did definitely go the first part of that weighing scale. So just be careful of that in the future.
First run though, like I mean, the amount of that carbon fiber detail for this being an early build, like pretty good. I mean, I know that it's a fairly simple technique now that it's all been debunked, but that being said, I see how it gets lost in the sauce. It almost would have been better if it was the darkest tone, was that one tone that had that carbon fiber detail, and everything else was just a shade lighter, just so that it gives it more separation naturally, like from the elbow or the inside of the forearm, whatever. I believe that's the arm is reversed there, but because of the way the shield attaches. But yeah, you can see all that carbon fiber stuff there. For one, there's an awful lot of carbon fiber just for that one spot. But for two,
that thing ain't holding anything up.
I don't know. Carbon fiber can be strong.
It's Gundanium fiber, guys. Come on.
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm sorry.
In the lore.
And then the second part is I know you had attempted some scribing on this guy, and kudos for giving that an attempt. You might need to clean it up a little bit though. So I'm noticing quite a little bit of an issue right here. I'm not really sure what's going on here either. Is that part of the?
Yeah, it's the shoulder kicking back. It's just got a glare. So
Okay.
It's weird.
It does look kind of strange, right? It looks like a clear piece going over the thing. But like your scribes here are a little bit rough. It looks like maybe I don't think you sanded it to be level after you had dug your valley. So just be mindful of that. And yeah, I agree with what a lot of these guys are saying, so I'm not going to mirror it. The carbon fiber and the black or the very, very, very dark gray is a little bit. You're losing a little bit there just because they're such a similar shade. And even though one is a different finish from the other, it's still like, especially with how you've taken these photos, like especially this photo right here, right?
Yeah,
I can't see the difference between the two. Like
Yeah,
it's
in the shadow.
Yes. So,
All right. I've been looking at this for a long time and listening to y'all saying.
okay.
Sam, I got homework for you.
Let it rip.
Take this kit and put it wherever you build and just keep it there. Keep this shit always in front of you, because I will say, for a first time airbrushing contest entry, sharing your work with the general public, it seems to a degree that is going to be judged and looked at every single detail. This is a massive achievement, homie. This is great. Obviously, hey, there's technical stuff wrong with it. We all start somewhere, but you have attempted so many different little things in such a short time for a build that you need to give yourself a pat on the back, and you need to encourage this and keep this going. You tried airbrushing, glossing, matte differentiation. You have gloss, you have matte going on. You've got small details, water slides. My favorite part about this is the back shoulders, because you were going for this like hyper clean, off the floor kit. You got high glosses, you got the mattes of the plastics and then the metals and all this other stuff. But this back detail does tell a story to where you can tell this person's getting it clean in the car wash every once in a while, because the engine departments they're washed, they're kind of mucky a little bit, and then you got that clean carbon fiber on it. I wash my car the same damn way. I ain't getting all the details. I'm just going to clean the outside a little bit. But it tells
You gotta get yourself a detailed brush with those little small things.
brush. Yeah. But like, to touch on what Kyle was saying with practice the masking, I'm gonna go the opposite route. Practice your hand brushing, because you have a little bit of self-awareness going on where details need to go and where washes need to be applied. So I think if you carry with that, you can really excel without even needing to mask and painting these small details, right? And kind of showing where there might need to be a little bit of subtle weather, and there might need to be a wash. And when you get those skills with hand painting, doing these oil enamel washes are super easy. They're super quick. You'll get it down super pat. But man, I'll say this, for a first time and a lot of stuff, it blows all kinds of stuff out of the water. You should really be proud of this one, homie. This is dope.
Absolutely. Yep, that's exactly what I told you kind of when you showed these to me. And I do apologize that it took a while for us to get to it, because there was a lot of. You can blame Kyle. He does all the choosing.
Yep.
This has only been in
Um,
the queue for how many months?
yeah. But yeah, dude, Sam. Yeah, I read like I Joel's right. Like this you've done way more here than I've ever done with my first like custom
yeah.
paint job and all that stuff. Like you took the brass. There were some brass rings in front of you and you grabbed them full force. So
Just
uh,
back of the truck, man. Grab
This
it.
man got balls of steel.
I mean,
Carry
this
them
is,
balls.
this is
proud.
exactly what we talk about. Was saying just do it badly. He did so much in this one build. You tried so much. There's always going to be some type of technical aspect that we're all going to bungle up one way or another. But like you tried so much. If you take this to every build you're doing, and everything you tried here has so many different avenues of different skills you're going to learn. Man, I wish I did some shit like this on my first build. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're definitely setting the bar up there for the next few challenges, and that's I love seeing that with people. Like we can all do what we choose to do with this hobby, but I always love people to just like grab it by the horn and go, no, I'm going to do all this stuff, and I'm going to
Do all that wild
master
shit
them
you
and
got in
get
your
it.
head.
I love that drive.
Sam, next time you attempt this with the high gloss finish, before you apply any panel lines or decals, get some really high grade sandpaper cloth and polish. Wet sand.
Get the Zonia. It's made by 3M, but it's Zonia. You get on Amazon everywhere. This stuff right here, the Zonia paper. This stuff is cloth. It comes in grits from 800 grit up to. I have it written down because I lose everything. So here we go. It goes from 600 grit to 14,000 grit.
Yeah.
Simple pad costs like, I don't know, like $12-15, something like that on Amazon. And they're like a full-on sheet. I got a bunch of extras right here. Check it out. So it's like a full-on sheet of like cloth, super flexible. You can wash it. You can reuse it. You can polish glass with it. I use it to polish the canopy on the flea when I accidentally like oversprayed with zip kicker and totally effed me in the bee. Oh. That was fun. Yeah, thank God I had this stuff that I was able to polish it out. Oh.
Yeah, I like how there was a little bit of auto tune when he said, "Oh,
Good."
That was great. That was great.
The bee.
But yes, Sam, dude, well done. You did it. I think you did a fantastic job here, especially for your first time. Like Joel says, keep this on the table. Keep striving to better this build, and please submit more. And we'll take a look. And
Virtual high five, bud.
we're invested in your growth.
Give him a round of applause, guys.
I would buy Sam stock right now if it was an option. I'd buy it.
I
I don't know nothing about it. But
while I pull up the other one, could one of you guys please answer John Antolin Go's question? I know John Lynn did as well, but we might as well like address it.
I answered it right before John Lynn did in the chat.
Yeah, thanks
but
for
I'll
reading the
answer it
chat,
again.
Pabs.
Hi, I'm Kodo Kai in the chat, and you can go to either Chris Pab's Instagram channel, or you can go to the CritiQual Builds channel, where there is a link tree that brings you to the Google Forms submission for the CritiQual Builds, and you can submit either work in progress, finished build for either critique or feature. And we do like that you submit around 10 images so that we have the opportunity to see all the different sides of it. So, do your standard like front, back, side to side. You can get some action poses or something like that, or especially work in progress things. It's good to see progression of stuff. And then obviously there is a window for you to offer a description. There have been many different kinds of descriptions. We've gotten really fantastical ones from Miguel Gunpla, and then we've gotten very, very incredibly descriptive ones.
Storytelling.
Like some we've seen earlier today, and some of this shit that I just run on at the mouth with. So
It's all words, baby.
It's all words, baby.
Also, there's a section in the form where if you want us to highlight certain parts of your kit or emphasize it, there's that section too where you can kind of like, hey, I'd like for you to look over this part or this part and tell me what your thoughts are. So there's that too.
All right, thank you.
All of it's required. You must fill in every single.
the more information, the better. Honestly, sharing is caring, right? So like it takes a village, and it ain't one-sided thing here. Come on, I'm gonna give you everything you give to me, okay? So sounds weird, but it can be beneficial. So.
I want to hear him say that auto tune now.
right, it went away now. It's all good.
I can't help
He's
it,
all
man.
good.
I have no
Clarity
control.
is
Damn,
100%.
T-Pain. Didn't know you
Crystal clear
retired.
on my end. So, and I'm like Ethernetted directly into the modem. So I'm not. I don't know what to tell you.
But to the Matrix and everything. Shit. All right, so
It's Neo.
back to the critiquing. The Matrix will tell me this is a juicy steak. What else we were saying about the steak?
I know it's not real, but
Yeah. All right. So back to the critiquing. Let's go on to critique number 3, and I think we will definitely have a lot to say about this one. It is from this one, Mr. Ryan Lau at Gunpla_enthusiast on Instagram. This guy. So he doesn't give much of a description on his build. This is his clean versus weathered entry. And we're hoping you guys know what that is.
I know what it is. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and show this guy off.
Not.
That's all right.
Oh yeah, this.
I really like. First off, I want to say something that I didn't see initially, but I believe it was pointed out to me by Pavs. But the high grade Thunderbolt big gun sniper rifle magazines used as the shoulder component is fucking smart as it gets, brother. Right on.
it's on his IG page. He shows the build in progress for that whole lower section. That's actually the big gun. That whole thing is big gun.
I have a full life. I don't nitpick everybody's things, bruv. I'm not all up under people's skirts all the time, Kyle, like you.
Not everybody, just some people. Preferably Scotsmen, you know.
Lordy. So,
Love it.
I was wanting to find some work in progress photos of this thing for us to look at, Ryan, but he didn't show any. He didn't give us any for some reason. So I did go to his. I went to his Instagram, and all there is primered color, like primered versions of this. Like, there's no in progress.
That's the good thing. Ryan always does that about his builds. He will show you how he builds some of his custom parts by showing where the kits that like donored those come from. It's one of my favorite parts about watching his work in progress is he will show you, okay, I got this piece from this kit, this piece from this kit, this piece, and it kind of gives you that whole like, oh shit, I didn't know I could take those parts and make this.
That's true.
It bridges that gap, and I'm always a fan of that. And he's one of the builders that does that. Brian is also one of the builders that does that. And I love
Josh
when they
Darrett
do
does that. Like,
when they bridge that
I
gap.
do a little bit. I tickle and stuff, but I'll answer any question at length.
You say you'll tickle and stuff?
Damn.
No,
bro.
I say I tickle that stuff. Just a little like I'm not really like into it. Like Josh Dara and then Ryan also, they go in and like Dara will like cue out and be like, this is this, and like have a little expanded window with like the part shaded out, and I'm just like, I am good with a pencil. I can file real good.
I like turtles.
I feel that way sometimes, honestly. Like, I can build like a motherfucker, but I can't shoot photographs to save my life. I would be a dead man.
Which is why you should join myself and everybody else here.
Anyway, guys,
let's talk about
build here.
Yeah, let's talk about Ryan's build real quick. We'll talk about that later on. Okay, so
Ryan's build. That's right. We're looking at Ryan's.
That's what we're looking at, right? So, so a lot of people did ask why, and even though we did technically explain why, this didn't get first place. Right? Do you guys remember the reason behind why this got second place?
Can you remind us?
So
I do, but
the problem with this build, like, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. We had to kind of judge it from the neck up. Because we weren't judging it based on the customization that he had done from the neck down, because obviously that's all kit bash and scratch build and stuff like that. And as amazing as that was, we had to kind of look at the actual thing that he had put in as a clean build, and that was the Exceed head. And at the end of it, the first place winner just did a little bit more, and he inched forward and got that first place. Saying that though,
perhaps. Like, it's a paint competition, so aren't customized bits also considered up for judge for paint quality?
Yes and no.
Just to help, because that's a very confusing hard pass.
It's like
I can give you like
my-
a judge ruling on it if you want.
Yeah, there you
like,
go. Joel.
Yeah.
For me, like my build was judged on the build and not on the amazing wall that I made. I made an amazing wall.
That makes
Golly.
sense. But this
yeah,
like,
exactly.
lower half is a part of the overall build, and it's been
Sure.
painted. So I would assume it is also within the means of judgment for a painted competition.
That's
Only
that's
under the
thing. That's
guise that the paint is being judged, not
that is
So-
Occam's
okay, so-
razor right there, brother. That is like the line to dance upon.
I'm being devil's advocate on this because people will
I
say
know.
the
Hold on,
same thing
hold
and
on.
ask.
One second. Joel, go ahead and chime in because you were about to chime in before these two
Yeah,
started to.
So IPMS rules and usually generally anything under that sanctuary, whatever's on the table is being judged. So in this case, from the bottom of the model kit to the top would have to be in the factor, and everything from paint, build quality, etc. go on. If I was doing the contest, everything that is in the photo that has been painted would be in play, including the whole entire bottom, because you are looking at what does the whole piece sell, what is the story it's telling, and those are the components of the story, not just the head. Head's great. There's also some really good painting going on at the bottom. To leave that out would be a little bit concerning when looking at the overall model, because they wouldn't just take the head to a competition, they would take the whole base. Your base is
Yeah.
only as strong as your whole completed kit.
And that was my thought on that. Like that, it has
Well,
to be a
fucking
complete package under the guise that we're judging paint, because that's the purpose of the competition. It was a paint quality
Yeah.
competition.
So like if someone
Right.
brings a really nice painted master grade, right, and it's beautiful whole 9 yards, and I'm looking at it and it's just on a out of the box base, I'm usually going to tell them, hey, you might as well just left the base off and just stand it up, because now I got to look at this base and now it's super distracting. You didn't paint it, blah 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 blah. The same would apply here. I mean, there's a lot of really good techniques going on in this build. I didn't see this. I didn't really have too much time to watch like the whole contest unraveling. But this is like the sense of scale is insane. I didn't know it was exceed head, and I mean those are small. They're not that big.
Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
like that big. Maybe
This is great.
4 or 5 inches tall.
There's some spots I couldn't nitpick about the paint,
Go for it.
but I mean, a little bit of that is just, I mean, we get these weird spots in competitions, especially when it's in person, where it's so strong that we have to, not find details, but try and see every inch of this. I mean, you'll see it too when judges bring out flashlights and shit like that. It's because we're trying to see, okay, what is actually going on here? The first thing that my eye goes to, where my judging eye would go to, is some of the panel lining in the head. The evenness of washing it out, having that middle stroke line where you have the outer strokes in, and all these details that needs to be concurrent through the whole model kit, especially at this sense of scale. The other thing too is the copper on the piston. This is where you would benefit from having a high gloss with a metal gradient going from this kind of silver wear onto it. You have this pop of gloss with this super clean. The matte on this is amazing. I love that purple. It's that beautiful, beautiful purple. It gets all of us kind of revved up. At least I'm revved up.
It is. Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I mean, again, this is a kit. I can tell you, Riley, I'm sure you had issues like trying to get into it and nitpicking it, but like there's so much going on here, and there's also a little bit more that can be done with it. But I mean, this thing is beautiful. I would love in the use of, like, I didn't even notice the sniper part as that the bait. My favorite thing about
the
this
full
is the
big
base.
big Zaku parts.
That bust is that is so badass, dude. This is fucking awesome.
I absolutely love the way he displays it too, because this is a rotating display. This thing rotates.
Yeah, you could.
Here's where he got
This is
that
like a
from.
centerpiece at a show. I mean, this is
Yeah,
stuff that I would
this'll-
like. Yeah,
This will draw crowds for sure. Like you'll have people walking around this thing, like taking photos.
this
and-
is
all
one
that
of
shit.
those kits that gets IPMS dudes, gets old heads super into Gundam stuff. Because like, wait, you
That's
scratch built that? You did what?
Yeah. Or kit bash or scratch. Cat. What do I call it? Scratch
Cat
bashing?
scratch.
Yeah.
Cat
Scratch
scratch bash.
Scratch bash. Yeah.
Scratch Bash.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this is tight. This is
Yeah.
A+. 2 thumbs up from Uncle Ricky.
I don't think he's watching, but if you are, Ryan, if you can send me some work in progress photos so we can look at it, because it's super interesting. And I know he posted it in some group on Facebook. It's not on Instagram, so I don't know where it could be. I'm I mean, if you guys are doubting me, I mean, I could show you, but it's just a bunch of before and afters of the head, and then the primered entire body, and that's it.
No, just go check
So-
him out on IG. Gunpla Enthusiast. It's got to be up in there. The guy shares a lot. He's a real community person. Really super cool. He always has a fucking amazing smile. The guy's a charming motherfucker.
Finished
Pull that
build,
smile up real quick.
finished build, before and after of the head, primered, and then it's onto his next build or his previous build.
I know.
Or maybe it
Oh
was
my
his
god,
Facebook
that
post
is
that I'm
so
pulling
Also,
up.
fun.
this is
I
a
love
curated
that build.
Instagram.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
A plus, A plus,
Yeah,
A plus.
he's
Wish I
not a
had
slob like me.
Nah, this is. I mean, this
Right,
is.
Perhaps I reject my earlier statement. It was more likely his Facebook then that shows because I remember looking at it and I was like, oh my god, I'm saving this shit because bits and pieces. I will take a hit.
Oh shit!
Post
That
post Mike's comment right now, Chris.
Which one? Which one?
The most recent one.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on. Don't kiss his ass. Come on, Mike.
Pabs is always right.
Hey, Mike, you got something on your nose. You got something on your nose. A little brown stuff on your nose.
Okay, so if you guys don't follow him, I have his Instagram up right now. It is at
Do it.
Gunpla_enthusiast.
Yeah.
One of Canadia's finest.
Yo,
I don't
you
know
know
why I
what's
call
the
it Canadian.
craziest shit about that build? He got a bus to do an S curl pose.
What do you mean? It's this whole thing?
Yeah.
Shape of the silhouette. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
That's
right.
the craziest shit to me.
All right, let's play art lesson. What is that S curl? What does the S and the
What
S
are you
curl
talking
mean,
about?
Julio?
I don't know.
It's called Sima.
Just throwing
It's
out
the
terms.
Sima curve.
Thanks,
Or-
man.
I know, I'm being an asshole on purpose.
Honestly, I had
Me
no
and
idea.
Julio
I
got
don't
I
know
love
what it's
you.
called.
Leave us
It's
alone.
because I love you,
Uh,
Julio.
I know
So
how to
Robert
use
Kurtz
it.
is-
I don't know what it's called.
Robert
okay.
Kurtz is asking, was it possible that process shots were Snapchat via IG? They were
No, it's
not.
on his Facebook.
He definitely did. He showed off a lot more of how things were done. Like for example, these things right here. Oh, you can't see my mouse anymore. But those sides right there. What the fuck do you call these things, man? You know, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen real quick. Go back
What,
to
the shoulder
sharing.
mount areas?
No,
No.
these things right here. What the there? These things right here,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
These are part of a hanger
yeah.
base.
Oh, sure. It's a part. It's some trussing structure.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a
that's
hanger
right.
base. This was the
Right.
Zaku big gun.
Pabs. I will scroll
What do you
through.
want?
You curate. I'm
Facebook.
just going to show them the images.
On Facebook.
Hold on. This was on Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's
Is
him
this
building
his-
the base.
Is this his art page or his personal page?
This is his personal page on side 6. So post on side 6 with all this.
Oh, it's so cool to see.
So you can go to side 6, which is a Canadian group.
So he talks about where it's from.
Oh, I see. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's really
You always
good at
get
it. Okay, he tells you what
Oh,
kit it's from,
fun. That's fun right
Yeah.
there. I love that.
how he accentuated the parts to make it more, and then here's the lower end of the big gun. From
Oh,
the design.
right.
And then
I
him
dig
tacking
it.
together for final.
It's fun
And
to
then
see
hold on,
these
there's-
things.
There's more.
But
No,
wait,
there's no more.
there's more.
No,
Come
there
on,
isn't.
Matthew. Come
Because
on,
there's
Matthew
more,
Lillard.
and then there wasn't.
There was an image where he shows how he did the chords. That must be on a different post.
That's all right. Thank
Okay,
you, Kyle.
but if yeah, thank you, Kyle. So if you guys want
He's
to,
finally out in the chat. Thank you, Ryan, for showing
there you
up.
go.
Yeah.
There
There
he
you go.
is.
Where have you
Ryan.
been?
Yo,
Ryan,
do
if
me
you
a favor.
can,
Next time, try harder.
Yeah, do better, huh? What is this amateur hour?
I'll tell you what. I was gonna say, tell you what, Ryan. Next time we're all together, I'm gonna give you a little boost because I'm big, and you're gonna slap Julio right in the mouth.
Directly.
Yo,
Bam! And
Yes,
then we're all gonna
Ryan-
laugh and have some drinks.
this is. I'll be 100% honest with you, man. This bill was mind blowing to me.
Yeah, man. This is
It's well deserved. Well, like well deserved placement. Beautiful piece. I mean, on top of even being in the competition, you've earned yourself this one of a kind piece right now that's on your shelf, on your table, wherever it is right now. It's right there and it's fucking beautiful, dude. So
it inspired me to try to make a bust of my own, but I'll probably be nowhere near as close as this in execution. But I was like, oh my god,
No, I'm
I know
looking
what
at my
parts I
speed
have
heads
to-
like, damn, dog, you could be so much more than what you is right now.
You know, as soon as I saw that thing, I was like, "That's placing," like straight up.
No,
Like, yeah,
This
that's
man was
placing.
robbed. This man was robbed.
Did you hear that? Did you hear,
Perhaps shoot him.
essentially Julio was trying to influence the composition. Essentially, he was telling me this thing's placing, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like,
I was
"Yo,
like, you
I'm-
should-
No, he would never do that.
yeah,
I kept telling Julio to shut his whore mouth, and he wouldn't. So
gotta make
Shut
me."
your whore mouth, Julio.
okay, so let's go ahead and go to our next build real quick. This time it is from Instagram at AnubisPly, Twitter at Anubis_20, Mr. Hugo, with his MG Providence Premium Edition. This was a build that I wanted to add as much detail as possible by masking and color separation. The stock kit is very bland, but at the same time has all the panels and details to break that up. This is also the premium edition that came with a Zaft base that needed to be painted as well. And in terms of what he wanted us to focus on, he says, I know the final presentation is lacking with dust and whatnot in the images that I forgot to clean up. But if you could focus on finish, colors, and posing, that would be great.
Okay, finished colors posing. Three things.
Three
Ooh.
things. Let's just focus on.
oh god damn,
3 things.
Super.
I will say this much about your
liking
finish.
this.
I'll say this much about your finish. Your pre-shading is very, very good.
Yeah, really,
Yeah.
really is.
It's done
You-
tastefully. I
you've
love
hit
it.
You've hit that beautiful, beautiful mark of subtle that it's not overpowering, but just there. It's just there enough that you notice it. So
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yes, beautiful.
Whew.
Nicely
Yeah,
done,
that's appreciating. First thing that stood out to me is appreciating. This is
Like-
Mhm.
And I
This
didn't
is-
puke
this
when I
is
saw it. I was like,
good.
oh my god, it's done tastefully. I love it.
this is a good, really good example of having the two different finishes, especially in the back leg. You got that that good metallics, that shine, and then you got that
Mhm.
nice shaded. This is very like Hobby Japan 2000-ish era a little bit to me. Like it's giving me that aesthetic
This
a
is-
little bit.
Yo, this is exactly how Bandai would fucking promote their
like
shit
the
on the
cardboard
box.
cutout.
Yeah,
I will say the chests, my dude. The hoses.
Tubes.
They need
Yeah,
some
them
loving.
tubes.
They need some loving, buddy.
Those
Yeah.
rubber hoses, though, like they're such a bane to paint.
Hey,
There's got to be a way to
I
paint
can see
them.
why
man.
you would be
adapt.
hesitant.
You gotta adapt to it.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to paint them. I
There's
have
a
one in
Mod
the
Podge
backlog.
on
I'm
it.
gonna find out.
Right,
So
Mod
actually,
Podge.
there's been some theories.
Yeah, there's got to be a way.
So Gaia notes multi-primer. Someone actually tested this. It was on Twitter some many months ago, and it actually held up really wide, like to the flexibility of it, and did really good. So I mean, it's hard to get now. So good luck. But in the future, when it becomes more readily available, that could be something people could use.
Do you attach those hoses last in the build? Does anyone know?
No, they're probably incorporated within. They usually are. They have there's like a receiver, like a U-shaped receiver, and then like a part
Yeah, it goes in
molded
the
within the thing. And that's the real fucking kicker, honestly, is that like those details are a little bit complicated to scratch build if you haven't scratch built shit before, and it can be a little bit intimidating. So if you're gonna try and sub in with like a nice gauge, like urethane coated or plastic coated wire, right? Like for the electrical wire, it's hard to make those receiver components work with your build if you don't have a little bit of time under your belt, which is the main reason why I always try to stress that you should try and build as much as you can, even if it's going to be a failure. Because as this kid Mecha Genre once said,
Hey.
Fail badly.
exactly. Feel goodly.
Goodly.
Goodly, it's feel goodly.
Yo, you
Because
think
every
you-
time you fail, you learn. And honestly, is any failure a failure if you fix it? No.
No, if you learn something, it's a success in my eyes.
As long as you're trying.
There's a really good product, and I think it's for like Tamiya RC cars, but it's hosing in this size, that you could probably use to even just kind of cut and wrap around the hose. It would match the metallics in all your joints too. But then again, you got to tread lightly with that because then you're playing with scale, how big are the grids compared to all the other details. You got these vents going on. But I mean, besides the hoses, I love this thing. This is dope. This makes me want to do like a clean build.
I love the level of detail he has highlight. Like, look at this back of the leg. Go back one page. Look how many different colors to accentuate the details that this kit naturally has.
Oh yeah,
that gloss white.
This is what I'm always harping out when I tell people this. Like, use what the kit gives you because it just goes from like, oh, that's a cool looking to like, oh my god, jaw dropping. And all it does is take a little bit more color separation in there, and you paint these rings, whether you hand paint or mask or whatnot, and you can really it just makes night and day difference. Like, it's astounding how much just putting two different tones of color on a detailed part just changes the dimension of a kit.
Yeah, it gives it so much depth.
So Michael Delson has a question. Would body paint work on the two parts?
I think it's an acrylic
I
based
Never really tried that.
Lacquer, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a water-based paint.
Yeah, water-based paint.
Yeah.
Might be that might be tough. Yeah.
Because the issue is it's flexible, very flexible. It is literally a rubber part. It's not like the ABS kind of joints where it's soft plastic. It is
Not like a polycap.
I mean, some shit won't even cure on wire, like on insulation, depending on the type of insulation that it is. Like, they're designed to repel, things sticking to them. So depending on what you get, for the flea, the cables that I have for the back of it that are all chromed out, they are sticky still, and that was from 2019, right? Yeah. So they're still sticky. I keep them wrapped in like Tyvek so that I don't have to touch them.
Actually, I don't know why I didn't say this earlier. Soft vinyl paint. Vinyl paint is really good for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
We use
it's got flexibility to it, right?
It's just soft vinyl and it adheres like that. I will say this is a kit though. Bring it to a contest, have it on a rotating base, because for me, my favorite's the back shot. We got the details of the white gloss.
Joel like that booty.
The metals in the back. We got his vernier. Oh, this is the back shot's the money shot for me. I want to see this thing spinning. This is going to be a centerpiece at a show. People are like, oh, damn, check that out, check that out, check that out. And I will say, even though the hoses aren't done, everything else outweighs that to where you're not distracted by it. And that's what's really
what you do is at the very end where it plugs in the chest and it's got that circle cap, you just paint that indentation there. Boom, the hoses are no longer a problem. People would ignore the rest of the unpainted finish if you just do that one piece, because that tends to always stand out the most, and you catch, oh, that entire hose is not painted. Just throw some enamel paint in there or some acrylic right in that part that doesn't flex that much, and you can easily ignore the rest of the unpainted hose, because then it's like a natural hose.
Especially a wash, dude.
So to balance this out, I feel like I would have liked to have seen more of this color, this darker shade of this kind of gray blue in more spots, because I feel like this light blue, while it is his main color, is a little, it's kind of obviously the main color, and it's a little bit overpowering. I would have liked to have seen it in some spots where some accent color would have helped tremendously. Like right here, it's just that one color. Even though it's really really well done, to be truthfully told, I don't think it needs it, but it would have been nice to see it.
Either or kind of thing.
Yeah. And then also good job on painting this.
Oh yeah, paint the miniature.
Yeah, that was well done.
Yeah.
Props on the gun too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
like the gray shading on the gun. We got little red details, the gold.
Where is it? There's a photo of him doing a pose. Right, here we go.
Yeah, look at that.
Looks tight. I mean, it looks menacing.
You got clean embedding on those back pieces of the gold.
Yeah.
I'll say this much: I'm not a fan of the gold.
No.
I would have gone yellow or something else in there.
That's true. Like more energy, kind of go.
The only thing
that
that bothers me is you can see the edge, that highlighted gold in there.
Yep.
If it was just, I mean,
on
it's
the hard
tricky to do.
edge, right?
Hard edge, yeah. It would have been kind of go back in there maybe. But again, I mean, this is a dope kit. You should be really proud about this one. This is definitely
yes, sir.
This is some shit your homies come over like, damn, you did this? I'll give you $20 for it. You're like, nah, son, $500.
$500.
I will say, I don't see a lot of dust and hair on this, so kudos for
don't
Great
this
photo.
pulling off what you could.
killed it.
Great
Yeah.
photo.
Photography is you're on your A game here. Like this is really like there is nothing here to distract you from anything from anything other than looking at your kit. You chose a background that doesn't mesh with your colors. You're intent. If anything, you're intensifying us looking at it more. Like you're like the way you've posed your kit, the way you've angled your kit, and the angles that you've taken your shots. It's purposefully drawing us into the things that we should be looking at. Like for example, look at like this image right here. You're looking at this image and you're going, okay, so you want us to look at the top half, right? You want us to look at the top half of your build, but we're looking more specifically at the chest. We're looking at the chest and the right shoulder, and we're looking at how well those colors mesh together, how subtle your appreciate is, and how good these colors separate from one another. And this is very good.
I'm always going to find something to nitpick, right? I'm going to do that with everyone's thing. Photos are dope, but I know you know what you're doing. Watch some of your, just like in these batch photos, you have a lot of good highlights on some, and some of them are a little bit darker, to where you could have bring it in just in Lightroom, bring up the highlights. You know, you're not editing too much in it, but just have that same quality going throughout. This would murder in some type of printed media for sure.
Yeah. You're just intensifying data that's already there. You're not editing the photos.
Actually editing. Yeah. Like I do that I am notorious for taking dark photos, which I hope to be able to correct some of this shit. Talking to Pabs here on the 24th. Check it out. Chris Pabs channel, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But just saying, I am notorious for taking dark fucking photos because I am like probably from my traditional painting background that I have, like the way that I learned to do the art in the day. And I think that I always end up spending my time like increasing increasing the exposure, and then effing with like the highlights and the shadows, just to try and like bring out what I could see, because I still have that disconnect where like, because what my eyes see ain't the same thing that the camera sees, and I need to be able to like talk between the two of them right now. And he's not working out.
We need to invent technology that sees what we see, like Google camera lens.
At least I got this thing to track my movement, so I can be like, look, I'm crazy active, and now I can be like, really, I am. I'm crazy active.
I really like the use of selective panel lining. Like he didn't panel line everything, and if he did, it would have been too much.
True.
Really nice.
No, I would have liked like maybe a wash on these pieces right here. They just look a little bit.
I feel like the pre-shading works with them, and I see where Julio's coming from. Like if those, even if those were washed, like he would have to like go so subtle, right, to really not blow it out.
Gray wash.
And I didn't,
a lighter, darker tone.
I didn't think of that, Julio, until you said it too. That is really prevalent throughout the build, and it works to its
Selective.
favor.
It's like here and there. It's really nice.
Good. It's real good. God, that leg. God, that back. Ooh.
Stop talking
All
about
about
it
to do
like
it.
Ooh, tasty details.
Yeah, we can.
Making him fan himself, this man. He's gonna have to bring out the belt real soon. Anyway.
Oh Lord.
All right. So if you guys don't follow him, at AnubisPla on Instagram, Twitter at Anubis_20. I know this was kind of a last minute addition. Hopefully we get to see more of your builds, man. I'll submit to the show so we can kind of see if this is kind of your style. We want to, or if this was just an experiment and maybe you have a different style. We want to know. So, submit more and let's have a look at it. And it was an absolute pleasure to see this build.
Yeah, this is dope. Awesome.
We're gonna start turning these critiques into features because you motherfuckers won't submit. I'm not gonna give any critique. I'm just gonna tell you nice things.
See, that's the trick. They go in for a critique, but they're hoping that you don't find anything, so it just sounds like a feature.
I hate it.
No,
don't do that.
I don't like that plan. We're just gonna.
No. Okay, so next up we have another critique because, like I said, we only really have one feature. So this time it is from somebody who's not a stranger to the show. So Kevin, how do you say it? Mervlin Art.
It's Myrtle.
Is it Myrtle?
Maybe
I don't know. We're still up in the air trying to figure it out.
I say Myrnle because
He
the
will
V
never
looks
tell
like a
us.
U.
See,
Oh, like
The-
the
the-
U. It's
the-
like the
the
Russian
fucked
U.
up-
It looks like a V.
the fucked up thing is, Julio was the one that told me it was Mervin, and now he's saying
Maybe
it
it was
totally
Mr.
different.
Null.
He doesn't even know. No one knows. He won't tell us.
It's a mystery.
Could be Mr.
Anyway,
Null.
so let's
Mr.
just,
Nevada. 'Cause
let's just call him
Mervin's
Kev Dog,
there.
Mr. Kev Dog.
Yeah,
Um,
Kev Dog.
Mr. Kev Dog with a work in progress of his Messer Night thing. I started kit bashing the build almost a year ago for a build off of the Plamo Labs Discord. Never heard of it. The theme was, of course, the Messer. The original design had the double Zeta Verto backpack strapped to it, and some different design ideas in the torso. I'm not a fan of the design of the Messer at all, so I always plan to do an extensive redesign. The night theme kind of stuck when I found that the Full Mechanics Grimgird faceplate fit perfectly over the Messer face, with next to no modding. I replaced the double Zeta backpack, mostly due to the weight, but also because it didn't create a very striking silhouette. The Arios, I think, backpack had those nice dramatic angles that I think matched the shoulder armor really well. The shoulders are simply Messer's rear skirt parts cut and glued into place. The legs have parts from the Sazavi Katoki, Bjarlin, and lots of random greebles. The torso, arms, legs, skirt, and backpack have all been modified extensively with styrene. I decided on a true metallic metal paint job, and it is entirely hand painted. Most dry brush Vallejo metal color using Artist Opus Series D brushes. I worked in a lot of texture and weathering using old coins/silverware as reference. The model is not presented in any particular scale for the weathering, as it is an over-the-top super robot, but in my mind, all kit bashes are intended to be approximately human-sized. And then in terms of what we should focus on, he says, have at it, gentlemen.
Ooh, man, this is my territory, boy. You're in the hand painting world. Also, shout out D series. My man knows what's up.
Ooh.
This is the shit.
Snazzy
This
brush
is the
stuff.
Shit, this is dry brushing heaven right here. Right? This is dry brushing heaven.
Ooh, look at all those
That-
filberts.
ooh.
Look at all those filberts.
That presentation.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
do
it's a good.
Ah.
all right. I'm gonna go because like this is my shit. This is where I love doing dry brush metals. Biggest thing for me as advice is build up your layers of pigments in the metals, right?
Mhm.
Your end goals, an iron look, very medieval-esque. Build up from raw materials to that silver. Especially with dry brushing, as well with the D series, it's all about that stipple, that dry, and that excess. Keep building up. This shit's tight. This shit's like right up my alley.
Build up.
Hell yeah, brother.
No, this is tight. I mean, this is a good use of it. Like this is like dry hand brushing mechas should look like. This is tight.
I wonder if he shows his recent ones, because now he's like mixing grime and stuff.
Oh, you know what? Look, we can while you guys look at this build and talk about it, I can look it up on his Instagram, right?
Perhaps stop on the image that shows the overall, so we
What
don't
do you
have to
want?
bother you. Stop on the image that shows the overall frame.
Hold on. This thing doesn't
The
wanna
best
be-
part about playing
There you
with,
go.
like,
Okay, this is a good one. You can leave us on this one.
the best part about playing with metallics and like trying for a real metal, like a cast metal or a forged metal or any sort of worked metal, like I fucking was a metal worker for 15 years. Metal is all sorts of different ways, is that you can get away with those funky surface textures and selling it like it's done in this face, like the face method, the Grimgird, where there's a little bit of texture in there or whatever, but like just that like slightest amount of wash, and then just working with what you've got is selling the whole thing, and it looks so fucking good. Like, and that's one thing that I love about armor modeling. I haven't gotten into it yet. Like, I don't think I've ever built a fucking tank, but I love, like, I built a bunch of mecha tanks. I think they're the same shit. But like, yeah, I love that kind of like real world trade between the two, like, you know, hot rolled steel, like heavy hot rolled steel versus something that is like a thinner sheet or like ceramic or whatever it might be. Like, that stuff is all super cool.
Even the smoothest steel has texture, whether it be runs through the roller or whatnot, or just pitting from weathering or whatnot. So even the fleshest steel that hasn't been polished will have texture. So here's go. These are some current progress pictures with his weathering.
Oh,
and I really like how he's going with the shades of like kind of earthy wear and tear, not just rust.
Yeah, you're looking at patination or patina, versus just
you
like
get that
the
caliche or whatnot.
You're not looking at like the ham-fisted like rose bloom of like a rust, like an oxidization rust. So you're looking at like age ultimately, and
so what caliche is, because you gave me that look, it's calcium buildup on surfaces, and that's what causes that greenish.
Oh, sure,
look. It happens with copper.
Right, yeah, or like even what happens on aluminum. If you're, if it's out in the rain and stuff like that, aluminum will get a little, it'll weep like a frost of sorts.
A little tinge.
Yeah. I have this wonderful book.
I'm going to highlight this comment right here. The stick is smart, so it doesn't melt on your hands. Good job.
And the book
this
is called...
dope. I like where this is going, too. This is... Oh my god! I wish more people did this kind of stuff.
Awesome.
It's called The Coloring, Bronzing, and Patination of Metals.
Oh, what?
That's you deal with sacrificial metals.
I spent 15 years finishing metal. So this is a great little book. Has a bunch of visual examples for various techniques and stuff like that, and it also has a little bit of like methodology. It has a bunch of recipes for chemicals.
Does it have a lot of pictures? I can't read very well.
Etching.
No, it's a lot of this. It's a lot of science.
Words.
Chemistry. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, it's a lot of nerdy chemistry stuff, and that's really like I effed with chemistry back in the day, but like this, like working with metal and working with like acids and stuff like that, really got me into a lot of different aspects of chemistry. But
Brian, it's where you learn about electrolytes and connectivity and sacrificial metals. I went through testing.
Kyle.
I know about metals when it comes to
I don't
that.
know shit about metal. Except for death metal, and black metal, and
blue steel,
all kinds of other metal. No, this is tight, and I like where it's going too. Like this is an awesome take on it, man. Like this is cool to see. I don't know why people are so like, I don't know. They're not anti-hand brushing, but it's treated like a novelty. It seems like still. Like doing a whole
I think there's actually a technique involved in it, so they're thrown off by it. They're like, "Oh shit! I can't just arbitrarily
spray it."
You don't have to buy this shit to do that. You can just buy some like cheap makeup brushes and do the same thing. That's what a lot of like actual like movie scale models will use, just buckets full of like dollar makeup brushes because they're gonna get ruined. Like, but yeah, like the colors and the tones in this it was kind of. Where I was going with is like starting those tones with just like you can start with a copper on this, right? And as long as you build up to that silver, you're going to see little tiny details in there. And the more layers you bring up, the more that it gets fun to look at. You're like, oh shit, is that like blue in there? Like, what the fuck did that come from? Like, you start shifting too, because you are using metallic pigments. It's going to start shifting. But like what you're doing, this is, man, again, this is like the third kit that makes me want to like do this with the thing. I might just do a whole.
It gives you that Iron Forge look, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah. One of my first ever like try hard attempts was for Zach's contest. It was doing a Zaku in this bronze. It was like a Russian Soviet Zaku.
Me too.
Yeah, that's right. And like I love doing that. I try to do that with everything. And like I want to go back from seeing this. I want to go back and do another whole kit just all metal because like this, it looks so fucking fun.
And then film it and make it also a learning progress. Double whammy.
God,
that's the thing where I suck. I can't film for shit. You know what, Joel? You and I need to be fucking neighbors so we can work together, and I can film you, and you can film me.
I was gonna say, I would film. I'll just film you straight up. I mean, that is
actually. No. It's a both ways.
I do want to plug something.
I film you. You film me.
Yo, no, we're getting weird.
Go past. I do want to plug something real quick because we've started early production on Plamo Create, which is a homage to Plamo. I always butcher the name of it. Plamo Tuscaveri. Tavascore. It's a Japanese old modeling show. Used to be like a cable access kind of, where they would go to a Japanese builder's house. It's usually in this one hobby shop, and they would hand them a kit, say, do whatever you want with it. We're just going to be behind you filming, explain what's going on. It's 2 dudes with a camera. You got a boom arm, 1 dude with the A and B camera, and they're just filming it. And we're going to do that around the East Coast, and it's going to be going to someone's builder's house. We're going to stay out there for a week, give them a kit. It'll be a production crew, and we film the whole thing. And
have you seen the view outside my house? You want to do
it'd be dope. It'd be dope.
I'm actually going to ask you, Joel, when you're going to start doing toy shops again, now that things are kind of loosening up.
Oh yeah. Actually, end of August, I'll be flying out to San Francisco to hang out with Brian Flynn of Super 7 and Mark Nagata of Max Toyco. We're gonna be doing some videos. So
hell yeah! Keep looking
talk about toys and shit.
If you guys asked if you guys could hang out at my house and be like, yeah, man, sure, just feed yourselves though, yeah, because I can't be taking my food and shit.
Where's the fridge? Where's the fridge, Babs?
It's good.
Show me the fridge.
I come with funds for food, indeed.
Fuck y'all. You guys can go to McDonald's.
We'll work for food, Babs.
Yeah, boy,
that basement ain't gonna finish itself.
Why you invite your friends over and then say, I don't care what you eat. Just
you got a barbecue,
bug me about it.
Pabs, I know you
Hey,
got a
that's when you come to
backyard.
my house, but yo, we're gonna go cook out real quick.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna feed everyone Filipino
Pabs
food.
has the
Lumpia.
Yeah,
Filipino.
all right.
Pabs, you got the
the.
Pabs has the 40. I'm bringing the Taj Mahal of tents. What I want to say is,
Back to the
do I
build.
have to bring my own barbecue, or
No,
am I
no,
buying
because you
you
got one.
an amazing fire pit with a barbecue edition?
You can buy me one if you want. I don't care.
Kev, something for you to
$100, Ed.
fuck around with. I'm sure you've probably done it before. Is doing, especially with a metal build like this, stippling to make some of that metal texture. Ooh, for what you're doing right now, like seeing on Instagram, that stuff would pop with having that texture in there. A little bit of machine career texture, a little bit of armor modeling, basic, just thin down putty, little stabs. You can use, don't use your Series D, but use like some shitty makeup brushes or just a shitty brush in general. I think you would kill it with having some of that texture in there on a future joint. But this one, 2 thumbs up.
Painting,
Amazing.
yeah, painting's on point. One thing. So I'm again trying to balance it out. What's up, Plastic Peon? V. I don't like the feet so much. I feel like
I told
the
him about
feet
that.
leave a lot to be desired. Right.
This
I
is
guess
where I'm
They're
at back
bigger, like more toe out, I guess.
Yeah, like I mean, if you're thinking of like a knight suit, right? A suit of armor, and you're saying this is more human size. If you were talking about scale, I think that's what he said. It's just very strange because you have a lot of protruding pieces, right? You have you have your protruding shoulders, your protruding backpack / wing thing, your protruding side skirts, and then all of a sudden you have stubby toes.
Knuckle feet.
It's the skinny thighs for me. Like,
I don't mind the skinny the thighs so much because it's skinny and then it tapers outwards to make this flare,
it's like
right?
bell bottoms.
Yeah,
It's
it's
got like the what do they call it? The way the legs are designed. They're not your standard like that. It's like a kind of a hitch.
it's not chicken
Like
leg.
where
Where
the
it
thigh
does go
sits
down.
before the shin, kind of like here's the thigh and here's the shin. And the leg
The
is
design
essentially
the
here.
design Michael Bay ruined. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I'm with Paps. I would have liked to see a little more toe out, not just a little couple plates
Yeah,
of block
if it-
plate or something like
this
that,
is-
just to get that
I mean,
balance.
this is wholly unique, and this is really good. Like first of all, like props for trying to and attempting to doing something that you've never done before, and doing it this well. This is fantastic. I mean, the moment you look at this and go, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh yeah, it's metal that's been worn and aged and patinaed and all that stuff. So, well, really, that's a really well done for that. It's just, I'm more talking about like for like constructive criticism design wise, just to give you ideas, because maybe you're looking at this and you've already mentioned that you don't like the messer so much. It's just the proportions I feel like are just off, especially with those feet, just because it has the claw in the back and then no toe and then everything else just flares out. So you're just losing something there in terms of a silhouette because this doesn't have feet. It just looks
Well,
like
if you think
it was
anatomy wise too,
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense. Like, okay, this is me going into like a more let's make this realistic kind of thing. And note of what Pab said with his hooks in the back, that's good for rear support. But what about front support? Like if it's running or if it's leaning forward, what's supporting that part of the structure?
Yeah, and I mean to even put it even in more of a even more basic than that. Like if you put this as a silhouette, what would it be missing, right? If it was a silhouette right now, if this was just one giant black and white photo and you had the silhouette of this thing upon a black or a white background, what would it be missing? It would be missing because it would just look like one giant leg moving down or one leg, kind of straight downwards, and there's no differentiation there. So it's just something to just food for thought. I mean,
It
you
gives
don't have
me
to.
like 10%. I get a little bit of SD chibi vibes from it. A little bit of SD vibes from it. That's what I'm getting from it.
Oh, because that
Next
torso is
section.
massive, right? That's a big
Yeah.
torso.
It just gives me like weird proportions. Like I personally, aesthetically, I like them. But it does kind of read as like ST high grade, a little bit in that realm, a little bit. I think it's just the head. I get drawn to the head so much.
Dude, it reminds me so much of Goblin Slayer. You guys ever seen that?
Yeah, because
I haven't watched about it like I've seen it. Yeah,
the slits in there when he's a red eye and
like the smallest circumference around portions of body parts, like the thinnest part is the thighs for me. And it's really like it's blowing it out for me. I don't know
It's
why.
I think that what I said applies to when Joe was talking about this thing being an SD. It's because the torso is massive. It's the massive torso, entire torso, and even on top of that, and even on top of that, he's adding layers of armor onto the already massive torso of the messer. So it's already kind of out of proportion.
I would cut that thigh where it's connecting to the center. I would just cut those off and just make it a short, stubby SD, and it would look fucking tight. I would just cut them out.
I'm going to speak for Brian because we have similar mindsets. I say extend it. Like you do the count of heads.
Extend
You
it.
say the count of heads. Extend it. Make it longer.
I want it longer.
Arms
Fat and
arms
short
a little
like
longer.
myself.
If you were to extend stuff, it would definitely
Make
look
it
like
long.
5-star story shit.
What'd you say?
That's true. They do have the heels.
If you extended stuff a lot more, it would look like 5-star story shit.
Yeah. That's the other kind of aesthetic vibe I'm getting from a little bit, especially with the head and
Makes
the
me wonder, guys.
shoulders.
Yeah.
The theme of SCGMC this year is, well, it's not 5-star stories. It's the creator of
designer.
5-star stories, the
I
artist
forgot
designer.
his name. Yeah.
But this could fall in line with the design principles of
Yeah.
5-star story.
It's
Yeah,
it's,
so
it's a little fantasy, little mecha.
yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, truth be told, the designer of 5-star stories is a bit off his head. So,
Hey,
Look, there's nothing wrong with being.
nothing wrong with being a little crazy.
Exactly.
I want you guys. I
Or
want you
more
guys
than.
to research this man and tell me he's not. Yeah. So there's eccentric mental
life.
like
There's smearing this man's name.
there's a mental eccentricity, right? But then there's just plain old. What the fuck is wrong with you, crazy?
Why are you talking about me like that?
Yeah, I
The
did.
amount of crazy people I work with on a daily basis. And I hate
The
that.
slander of this man.
I'm right here.
Slandering.
Seeing it to
Okay,
my
anyway.
face.
So I said it to your face, but anyway, thank you, Kevin, Kev Dog, Mervlin.
Myrtle.
So
Mr.
Taj Tajima says, I kind of wish they posed the kit with the torso pointing downwards. It looks like it would be better fit overall in the shape. And I agree with you, but the problem with that is the way that the Messer kit is built. When you pose the torso kind of facing downwards, the pivot point is weirdly like in the front.
It's under the breast.
It's not here. It's like up in the front.
Yeah.
And so what it does is it opens up. Here, I'll show you
in the
firsthand.
back.
It opens up.
Yeah.
It opens up the get off of here. Get out of here. What do you get shield back? All right.
Get out of here.
So yeah, right. But what it does,
It opens up the back.
Oh,
Is it-
yeah. What? That's weird.
It's
is
over
it
like
just
the
opens
front.
up the back, right?
It's
Yeah.
like an accordion or something.
And then it does this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not.
This
He's
is
like, oh, I'm in pain. I'm in pain. Oh,
like this.
I gotta poop.
That was my spine before physical therapy.
Oh my god.
Crippled Pabs, uncrippled Pabs.
Yeah. Needless to
That's
say,
weird.
it
I
offers,
didn't know that.
yeah, it leaves a bit to be desired. So
You
what
have
is
to
this?
lower the pivot to get the like ab crunch.
Hmm.
What did this
It was
Make
tight
it
though.
move
I
at
like
the-
it.
at the
I'm in
waist.
love with it.
Yeah, it's tight as fuck, man.
For some
Good
reason,
kick
hey,
mashing.
guess what? I'll admit it. I don't know why I wasn't following you. Now I definitely am.
Very unique build. Very good
Joel.
application of something you haven't tried before. If you guys don't follow him, please do. Put the banner up one more time, real quick.
Great builder.
At
Dope.
Merville Art, Mervin or Kev Dog.
Mr. Navel.
Apparently, he's a member of something called Plamo Labs. Never heard of it. So, yeah.
Scrubs.
Scrubbo Labs.
And then
I think I know
Brian, in
something.
response to what you had just showed, Taj says, "I see what you're pointed out, but I meant more like pivoting the whole pelvis section so the gravity center gets a different height, not exactly the ab crunch."
Oh no, I
like
smell your
moving the
stuff,
connection
man.
point
Yeah.
angle.
Yeah. It's this kit leaves a lot to be desired. So when I built this, and I talked about it when I built it a handful of weeks ago in one of the many streams I'm on, it doesn't really matter. Is that it leaves a lot to be desired with a lot of these kits that I build. At least I find I end up embiggening them.
Embiggen.
Pabs says I make a
Elonging.
big. It's just I do the thing that I do, but it does. It leaves a bit to be desired in regard.
Oh my god!
Is this a
God.
building? Is this a building that transforms into a robot? Where's the fun in that? It was a big reference. I don't know if any of you knew that.
So yes. Anyway, on to
I
the
don't
next
get
critique. This time we are looking at. Oh wait, hold on. I wasn't ready. I was watching Brian disintegrate.
ready.
So this time we are looking at Cobra Paw on Instagram, Mr. Joshua. This time with P Bandai HGUC's second Victory Gundam. This kit started out as a double sponsorship build. The kit provided by a friend in the International Gunpla Union, along with the paint sponsored by SMS. The previous airbrush builds were done with pre-shading, so I wanted to do something different. I aspired to show off the vibrant color selection that I chose. I don't normally do clean builds, so this is a bit out of my comfort zone. As you can see, I am still in the process of getting many parts completed. So far, the head, shoulders, and waist are finished. The rest I am still working on. However, I did see the finished version of this today, so you may take a look at that in a little bit. But here we go. You guys want me to go first? You guys want me to go?
Yeah,
Zoom
I'm
into the
looking
head.
at
No,
these
go
real
ahead.
quick on the computer.
It feels like you're rushing a bit, dude.
Yes, a little bit.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I know you said that this was your first clean build, right? And it's a good interpretation of that. Like obviously, you look at this from afar and you go, yes, it's a clean build. There's clean blocks and you have clean separations everywhere. But as you start to move in closer a little bit, there's some sloppiness in terms of cleaning up. Like on this red right here, you've got a panel wash that has a bit of a stain right here. It's almost like there's like little bits and pieces where you got a little bit impatient or you kind of overlooked after you've completed something else and you've just forgotten about that piece. So it's in situations like these, it's really helpful if you have a list of things to do that you tick off as you go along.
Yeah, let's sit out.
Especially with a more complex clean build, because obviously you're not weathering. It's more, you're trying to make sure that things are sharp and things are intensified to a certain point where you have nothing to hide. Everything is going to be shown, whatever you do. So just maybe slow down a little bit.
your paint application has a bit of texture to it.
This orange peel.
Yeah. I don't know if you're spraying too high or you're not thinning enough.
The biggest one for me, and I'm looking at these on my own. I'm sorry, Fabs, but
No.
the shots of the legs, where it's just the leg pieces. The red is very good. I would go to the next one. It's on on the thigh. Yeah, the red on that is very rough. But I will say, no, up on the thigh. Sorry,
The thigh.
there we go.
Nope. Oh no.
Super rough, but easy cleanup, right? This is something you can go in with a white and small that
sure.
line down, get a little bit on that edge.
Yes, straight up. Sorry for the clap. Yes.
Yeah. This is I think you're also at a point too where there's a lot of the red on this has that where it's a little bit outside the lines, it's bleeding into other spots. Easy cleanup. Just go back in, get out those details. Other thing too that I think definitely a thing to practice, and it is a little bit kind of it's a pain in the butt to do. The panel lining on the head gives me a little bit of almost like a weathered wash.
Yeah.
Just from the application of it.
Which
It
looks
gives it a little
good.
bit weathered. Yeah.
But it's not it was supposed to be a clean build, so I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, it's the cleanup for me. I think like there's a kind of a misstep here where you are applying your washes, but you're not thoroughly cleaning it up afterwards. Like it almost seems like you're not if this is a wash, right? Say you're using the Tamiya panel wash or whatever, you're not cleaning up the brush enough when you apply it, and then you're getting an excess of it, and as you're cleaning it up, you're rather than removing it completely, you're just spreading it, and then your white piece is pretty much now a weathered piece.
Yeah,
I think,
you get a wash.
I think a lot of it too has to do with surface texture, right? Because there is a lot of texture throughout in regards to like paint application. So it looks good, like it's a Monet. It looks really good from a distance, but when you get up there, look at that baby blue in the chest. That is riddled with imperfections. And anytime you try and panel line or panel wash or anything, something like that, it's going to catch every imperfection, any tertiary spot around it. It's like, it's just like, you're not wiping, you're just smearing it around, like.
If you guys want to see the biggest culprit of that, look no further than, I went the wrong way, sorry. Then the legs right here, right?
Yeah,
like this white right here. It almost looks like you're getting dry. Yeah, it's like I don't really quite understand how you're getting this kind of texture.
Spraying too far away.
Yeah,
it could be spraying too far away, but it also looks like dust particles trapped underneath the paint. Right?
It's spitting.
It's
spitting extra, like it's collecting on its tip. And
it's tip dry.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I just said.
Yeah. Well, you said tip dry.
Yes.
I don't remember you saying tip dry.
You just said.
Oh, maybe I said it. Maybe I said it. Maybe I said it in my head. I'm sorry. Continue.
You were saying it looks like dust particles trapped under the paint.
I'm screaming at us for his
thoughts. Exactly. And this is like just go check out the guys at Dr. Strangebrush at Model Paint Solutions. Right, fabulous dissertations. Chemical engineer breaks down how to thin paint. And the deal with thinning paint is that you can't ask Joel how to thin paint if you live in Alaska, because where Joel lives is wholly different than in Alaska, right? And the same deal, Mr. McRinaldi out there in Portland. I wouldn't ask him how to thin my paints out here in Jersey because it's not going to work the same way. You can talk to each other about how paint reacts to thinners and the relationship between the two of them, but you can't be like, yo, you got to give me the recipe, because there isn't a recipe. The recipe is knowledge and experience.
It changes with even in the same company line, it changes so much.
And it changes day to day because it ain't the same humidity or barometric pressure today as it is over there. Now, I live right on the effing coast, right? I grew up in Iowa, right, out in the sticks, and it's wholly different out there than it is out here. Out here, it changes hardcore day to day, the way that my paint is going to work. I'm grateful that I use water-based stuff because it is a little bit more forgiving for that. Like if I was trying to use enamels all the time, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, lacquers are sensitive
This
to
is-
moisture.
Especially because I saw the note with SMS paints. A good practice with SMS and what really helps me, especially with their metallics, but especially with like their primary colors, are nice light coats. It dries super quick, so you don't have to really spray it down super hardcore. Light passes, build up the colors, and periodically have just a desk lamp or something at your desk so you can kind of see the light reflection on those pieces to make sure you're not getting that weird texture. If you need to go back and sand, if you need to go back to address it, always work in light. I'm the most impatient person when it comes to painting, but recently I've been trying to get better about being patient, and I can see immediately the results paying off because I'm not trying to rush through stuff. But yeah, always light passes with it. Don't load a little bit in your airbrush. Try it out on a test piece, see how it's spraying, kind of play with it. You're gonna have to play with every single time you do it. You can't make a magic recipe and have it work like Brian was saying. It's gonna change every day. So just play with your paints, get to know them.
I do wonder if this is a lack of understanding of the different types of, or the different heats of paint. Like he's using nothing but SMS here. Like he's not. So he's not able to clean up things, right? He's not able to clean up the reds or
you can clean up those reds. That's pretty easy.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is you can, but it does lead to issues. So yes, okay. So my overarching thing here is I made this little GB single prop monoplane racer back in 1993, and it is a little 1 to 72nd scale airplane with a gigantic ass tail. It's like a big ass wing. It's the one that you see in the Rocketeer, right? That's the racing plane that you will see it featured in that. But the one that I made was white and it was red, and they were like very opaque colors. I brushed it all by hand, and it was this like swooped pointed detail down. If you Google it, you'll see it. But yeah, so it was like red on the nose and then like white on the cowl on the back with like a red detail on the fin. And it was pain in the ass because I kept going back and forth with these Testors enamels straight out of little square bottles with only gasoline as my thinner. And it like that, you can touch it up, but it is a delicate dance because white doesn't cover as strong as red does. And if you just thin the red out and try and wash it out, you're going to end up with a pink calf, and it's dangerous. But at the same time, it breeds to the philosophy of doing really good with your masking and being sure that you're burnishing the edges of your mask lines, that you have adopted a proper technique or a philosophy for your methods. And I mean, it's tough.
It's a good start, man. Keep pushing, keep going.
Shit,
because you're doing a lot more than a lot of other people are doing, and it shows. So keep up.
It's also the fact you're doing it.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. You're doing it. Like you submitted it. This is painted. You're doing the hobby, and that's tight. Yeah. Everything else just comes with just keep doing it, and keep building the skills, and yeah.
Yes, slow. I think that's my takeaway from this. Just slow down and kind of analyze what you're doing and really kind of hone what it is you're trying to accomplish. If you want a clean build, make sure it's clean.
Yeah. Take your time. Make sure the surfaces are smooth.
Yeah.
Saying stuff.
I don't know what your schedule is like. I don't know. Obviously I don't know your life. But I. What's the word for it? There's no. I don't think you're.
I don't know your life.
I don't know
your life.
I don't know who you're racing against. If you know what I mean, like enjoy your build. Like enjoy what you're doing. Take as much time as you need to finish what you need to finish.
I see what you're saying. I'm an asshole. Sorry.
We'll just say a lot of this in the write-up. I saw the word sponsor a lot. I mean, hey, if you're feeling rushed, just communicate that with the people you're working with. They should be understanding enough to give you, if they set you a deadline and you're feeling rushed for that deadline, express that. Make sure to communicate. Your time is valuable just as much as theirs.
I hear SMS are actually very good at that. Like they're
That's
very
wonderful.
understanding.
Oh,
They've
yeah,
been
they're
behind our
hella chill.
podcast for several years.
All day.
Amazing company, DIY mindset. You know,
Yeah.
checks
And I'm
across
sure
all the
they'd
board for
rather
me.
see their paint represented in the best possible way. If you
Yeah.
they want you to take your time and really show it for what it can do, rather than kind of a rush job where people may not view it for what it is, and that's a disservice to both you and the company. And you don't want to do that.
As a personal experience, right, with in terms of like working with these companies, like I did that Dynamis with Galactic Toys and Finishers, and this was the first time Finishers was ever sold in the U.S. And they wanted to show off how good Finishers could look, and they initially gave me a month, and as I started to work on it, and I started to realize, oh shit, Finishers is a different. It has a different feel than any of the other paints I've ever used. So I reached out to Nobu-san and told him, hey, this may be a little bit. This may take a little bit longer just so that I can get used to how your paint flows. And he was completely welcoming and he understood where I was coming from. He himself being a modeler, being a student of this hobby for as many years as he has been doing this. So don't feel pressured by these companies if that's what's happening here, because if they came to you, there is a reason why they came to you. And don't
If you went to them, they're trusting you with their stuff, man. Like, present it as best as you can.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. Is what I'm getting at. Let it be beneficial to the both of you, and don't let it feel like as if you're pressured to do something when you don't feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Hey, if it ain't beneficial to you and it's not being a lot of give and take, you need to assess the situation that you're in.
100%. All right. So, CritiQual, thank you for submitting this, man. Hopefully, we'll see this finished. I think I saw this finished, right? I don't.
I saw a posted version on Robot Kai.
Okay, so maybe if you want to submit this as a feature when it's finished, we'd be happy to have this back and see how it looks all done. So yeah, hold on, dude.
I will say that I like the Cobra decals.
I will say that Cobra decal.
Those are tight.
Cobra decal is a bit askew.
It's a good theme. It's a good theme. I'm a fan.
It's a bit askew.
Little touch signature on each piece.
Jeez. Okay, so there you go. CritiQual, please follow him. All right. And finally, our lost entry of the night. This time it is our one and only feature of the night. Kind of a last minute entry too. Thanks, Kyle. So it is from this gentleman right here, Mr. Bananarama Margeddon Skunk.
Bananarama.
It's Catamine Kyle.
This is
Get it right.
Kyle, not just Kyle.
Oh, sorry, Ketamine Kyle. All right, KK at Banana Rama Armageddon Skunk. Somebody say it right. I can't say it right.
Kyle.
I can't say
It's
it
my
right.
alter ego, guys. Get ready for it. He's worse than I am.
Yeah, okay, so
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I don't think that's a thing.
that's a thing.
I'd like to think there could be worse than me.
Yeah.
Of course, Kyle. And that's what allows you to sleep at night.
okay, so truth be told, let's give him his real Instagram name at Armageddon Skunk. So his build name / background is, and he's not even here, so he's not going to hear this. But calm down, Z. It's just a feature. Been chipping away at this. been chipping away at this HG
Tonight,
Strike
the
Rogue
role
Gundam.
of Z will be played by Kyle.
The HG Strike Rogue, and just carving off chunks of plastic, trying to channel my inner colony droposcopy, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? I can't say. I
Drop
can't.
in
know
a
what I mean?
colostomy bag.
Nah, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Nah,
You're
mean.
fucking like Liverpool or whatever. You can't say nah mean.
You're going to say in it?
What up, Liverpool?
I was like,
Liverpool. Hello.
On it?
honestly, I'm from the East End. What are you talking about?
What? Anyway, and then for what he wants us to focus on, is there anything you want us to focus on? My flawless paint job that looks like bare plastic and how gracefully I shaved off that plastic. Also, don't mind the shoulders as much. I've changed it up a bit by now and put that on the back. The front will have a slightly changed design. I just couldn't take any pics of it for submission because it's almost midnight and I'm in bed. And then I'll say the
bed
rest as they
building.
come up here.
Nice.
Fucking diary entry.
Dear
Dear
diary.
diary. Oh, we've seen
my
this boat
bicycle.
before, guys. It's the
Oh, this is
return of the.
What is this
Straight
sticker?
Rouge.
I'll see you in court, sir. I didn't authorize that.
Shopping mat.
Man, this sticker has
Yo,
traveled.
Yori
This
Pro
is
Shop as well.
Oh, yeah.
Dropping as
Hey.
well as fucking airdrop. Goodness
a
gracious.
classic mat.
Me oh my.
I've never
All
heard
you're
of this place
missing,
before.
my
I don't know what this
dude,
is.
is the Gunpla Builders Association sticker. What the F?
God. Wait, where?
Nowhere.
Right there.
Oh yeah, what
There.
the freaking dude?
Exact, right?
Are you guys even sending stickers out anymore?
No, but still.
I still have some that I haven't.
Circa
I haven't-
1995.
Yeah.
Look, listen. No. Look, circa 2017.
So what is this? A Beyblade or something? What are you trying to show us here?
It's a Spinja. It's a Spinja, Joel. The precursor
I
to
never
Blade
seen
Bait.
this
Ooh, I love that
Blade-
tape. The
Blade
masking
Bait.
tape's a nice touch, guys.
Yeah.
It's like
solid
Edward
execution.
Forty
Really-
but with guns.
Top tier.
It really holds it all together. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It does. It does. tie the
And then,
pieces together, you're correct.
To continue on what is he wants to focus on, wants us to focus on. So obviously he said he couldn't take pics because it was midnight over there and he's in bed. So he also included oh shit. He also
God.
included a picture of the mole cake, the mole cake that his wife recently baked, and also
God
of
damn.
his bike.
Let me get a slice.
Bike that I got back on recently to shave off some weight. I also spent
Oh
more
yeah,
time
after eating that cake, you gotta hit the bike afterwards.
What's
I
that
think I
in?
need to get
Is
on
that
the
a
bike, too.
is that a 24-ounce Shasta in the holder? Or no, that's a Taco Bell refillable mug. That's what that
Just
is.
a fucking
it's
big gulp on the
Catamine.
bike.
Oh no, that
Water.
just
Space rock.
says Team Brokeback on it.
I like how this man's from Germany, but it has a Great Britain sticker right there.
It's a bike.
Not a
Oh
small.
wait,
This is
is it a
bike.
Team Space
No,
Rock
it's not.
sticker? Hell yeah.
No, I joke.
Team
Maybe
Space
we'll-
Rock sticker, yes, it is.
Yeah, Team Space
What's on
Rock,
the-
boy.
What's on
End
the
it all.
forks, Pabs? What's on the forks? There's a sticker on the forks.
Is it a
No,
basketball
those are the-
card?
those
A
are the ones.
baseball?
It's
Carnage.
charge.
Charge.
It says charge. This
Now,
man
what
is
does the other
controlled
sticker
chaos.
say?
I really
You want
like
to read that out loud for the class?
the metallic red paint job. on
Can't
this.
read, guys.
Really nice.
It says
The placement of these
pill-
stickers is really nice.
Yeah, it's nice and straight. Holy crap, dude! Good job.
Yeah.
That's great.
Actually,
Uh,
that is a phenomenal frame, and it's a really well-made seat.
Yeah,
That seat
it looks
looks
It's a
comfortable.
good little bike.
No,
Like, I
uncomfortable.
I am.
You got
I
to
have
get it
the
in the right
athletic
spot.
fit. It's a good bike.
Right between the
You
cheeks.
got any pegs
Yeah.
on it?
You don't
Try
need
to ride on the
pegs.
back.
You don't want no. You
Give
no
me a
one
right
rides on the back.
7-Eleven.
That is a
Where are those
one-person
pegs?
bicycle.
Where are the pegs,
Let's go
guys?
lap then.
Do I stand on the handlebars?
I don't like the fact that there are no handlebars. I don't see any. Do you?
They're bullhorns. They're fine.
Yeah, you get
Yeah,
the
that's good.
little weird
Lean
one.
over.
I don't.
Sort
Is that
of.
a brake
you have,
cable?
like, you have two.
It's
You have,
single
like,
speed
you have
too,
the
right?
outer, and then you have like the tight inner, which is where you're like up and casual, like riding through. The idea is that it isn't huge. You don't need this like antlers on
we
outside
want
of the
grill
bicycle
bars.
to
Is
drive
that,
your bike around.
is that a brake cable I see? You coward?
Yeah, front brake
You
only.
coward.
No, it's a front brake, freewheel,
Coward.
of course. Yo, this is I
power
grew
slide
up
this time.
riding a freewheel with just handbrakes, and I was the fastest motherfucker on them shits.
Yeah,
But it was-
'cause
it
you're
was
like,
built
I can't
kinda like a
stop. I
dirt
have to
bike.
keep going.
As much as I like the bike, I do enjoy the cake a little bit more.
Ooh, let's go
Yeah, I
with
want
cake.
a
I like
slice
the
of that.
use
God
of chocolate
Damn,
on the
son. Oh
sprinkle.
my god.
Yo, how did that come out? Like of your
Yeah,
body
is that good?
when
After the bike ride.
when
Like
you
a
were-
Play-Doh fun factory, Julio.
Yeah, when you were finished with it, how did it come out? Was it like
I really like
Star
that the texture he did
I
with
feel like
the cocoa powder.
that looks a little creamy, so it could have been loose.
The flocking could be a little better.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, a little nice flocking. Yeah,
There's a
Yeah.
little flocking on there. Good texture. Good
Mix it
execution.
it's really to
with
scale
the
too, guys.
Plating is
Well,
a little
very to
off.
scale.
Looks like someone fucking ate a huge slice out of it, but you know, we can't be choosers.
You just have to alternate slices of that cake with handfuls of Triscuits.
Yeah.
Just give some
Triscuits.
Just give us something to grab onto, on
Perhaps
the way out.
that crotch armor one. We'll have a legitimate phrase.
Yeah.
He keep going. The one where he's got it like leaning on the.
Yeah.
There we
Oh
go.
my god.
So he actually like
images are
fleshed
so
out the
dark,
details
bro.
of that, scrapped it out,
Wow.
enhance.
Yeah, he used that
Enhance.
toothpick right there, right? Little toothpick
sand
Sandy.
out the details.
Toothpick Sander. Toothpick Sander.
Toothpick Sander is clutch. Gotta say.
Take it easy, V.
Pro move right there.
Yeah. Good job.
Pro move.
That's dope.
Grade A stuff. Ketamine Kyle, please eat some meat. Banana Rama Mageddon Skunk, whatever. Don't follow him.
Don't follow
Oh
him.
my god.
Like,
No, I'm just kidding. Please follow Armageddon Skunk. He makes some beautiful work. Also, apparently, his wife makes some good cakes. He also likes bikes.
He has a
That
nice
was,
looking single speed
So
That
I
was fun.
bet you
fixed gear.
that man has calves of a god. So
Calves.
I'm sure.
calves.
That's a serious.
There are hills in Germany.
I didn't even know that he raised cows.
What? What?
Metal calves. Metal calves, Steve.
I got it. I got it.
Thanks, Joel.
I
At least
appreciate
you're on the
that.
same page as me, brother. Hell yeah.
Oh my god! All right, so with that, guys, that is the lost entry and the end of this episode. So let's go ahead and go through the round table real quick. Let's find so that we can figure out where we can find everybody, and if there's anything they want to promote, please do so. Starting with Peanut Butter Boy right here.
Peanut butter
so-
cow.
Pab's gonna forget, but core build off.
Yeah.
October is the deadline.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of giveaway stuff. We're ready to. We got a bunch of entries still that I've been looking at every single time we set up for the show, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to like talk about these builds and this. So get your entries in now, not later, but now. And if you're not done, work on it so you can be done, so you can submit it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
If
Hell
it's
yeah.
king, fuck that other Skippy bullshit. This is the real G of the peanut butter.
Clean,
game.
natural,
Clean, natural, all organic.
all organic.
Comes out
Okay.
as it looks.
Honestly,
And he's now
Before I get
caressing
worse,
the
take me
peanut
off
butter
the
jar.
screen.
All right.
look,
Thank you, Kyle.
If you're trying to be fit, like peanut butter is honestly like a fucking superfood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
Good healthy fats.
I love peanuts myself. I've always been a peanut fan, whether it be a peanut butter or salted in the shell peanuts, or even like natural unsalted peanut in the shell, like peanuts within the shell. So very good. I got my wife converted that. Colleen loves them now, and she curses me daily because peanuts are fucking addictive.
Yeah.
They're so good for you because they're high in protein, they're high in omega fats, which is a
Iron.
good kind of fat. And then they're like,
Mhm.
they're easy to eat. You don't have to eat a lot of them to be like, all right, I got a little some. Like, let's go do some more stuff. Like, I'm a busy person,
I eat
very
100.
active individual.
You can put your finger in the jar. It works out great. You don't go.
You can use a spoon too because we are civilized humans.
No. The finger is organic. You got to maintain the organic theme of the.
Listen, Vigo
Brian.
Kylinson, level 3. He doesn't even cast a shadow. This kid. He's
I am at
it's
level 4 now.
insane.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
my God.
Okay.
He's
Brian,
spending time in space.
Brian, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on the Kodokai YouTube channel. Used to be Bro Builder, but fuck, it's not about me. It's about us. So find us on the Kodokai Robo Dojo, streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays most of the time. I'm gone to the end of the month because like got some family stuff and like my birthday and shit's going down. But see you guys in August doing regular streams. Mosquito Con's coming up end of July. I'm working on trying to get this Messerschmitt finished up, this 32nd scale, just like touching it up, doing this and that and the other, and getting the rest of everything else in order to go and see that in Wayne, New Jersey. Check it out if you're not familiar. If you're in the area, come by. It's going to be great. It's like $5, I think, at the door if you or $15, something like that. It's pretty cheap. And if you don't have the money, hit me up. I'll pay for your way. And God, I'm going to have like 100 people be like, take me to Mosquito Con. What did I say?
Thanks, Brian.
Core build off.
Listen, Paps, just because you forgot about it doesn't mean that I forgot about it, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. All right.
Thank you for being a friend.
Dun, 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 dun,
Travel down the road and back again.
Sing it louder,
It's true. You're a pal and a something.
Dun, 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 dun.
The question is, am I B. Arthur or am I Betty White?
You're a Blanche.
I am Blanche Devereaux?
Damn.
The tall one.
My goodness gracious. I would say no, that I am not.
You a Blanche.
Can we just all be Golden Girls, guys?
Yo, thanks for coming and hanging out with us, talking about spectacular builds. Because every one of you guys submitting is going the extra mile, and I truly appreciate it. Keep going. Keep fighting the good fight. Let's make cool shit. I'll see you tomorrow on some mechanism.
Oh,
Where I'm gonna have a drink.
Oh,
Little drink. I'm gonna have a little one.
We
such
gonna
a
get sloppy
distinguished
on that?
man.
I'm gonna get a little sloshed.
Let's get a little sloppy tomorrow.
Yeah, a little slumpy. I'll see you guys soon. Clipping nubs. Catch me on the internet. Submit to the core build off. Make some stuff with your core, dude. I don't care what it is. Just make it. And yeah, let's get some features in here. I want to talk about good stuff.
Damn.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Look at my Cygor. That fucker's dope, man.
Dude,
You just King Kong.
Delicious.
boy.
I want to start he makes me want to pump and get
Yeah.
big. Fucking monster.
get some prosthetic cybernetics.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to cut something off.
All right.
That's right.
Thank you,
It's for the cause.
Joel.
Oh, it's your boy. Damn, I'm gonna plug everything real quick. We're gonna be back on Twitch. I got the new fancy setup. I'm still trying to figure it out. Follow me, TrueGunpla, Holy Mountain Printing. Everyone's been asking about new merch. The merch drop is happening. We got flags, aprons, shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, designer toys. Later this year, me and Big Baby Scumbag are working together. We're doing Mobile Suit Scumbag. So if you're into ignorant South Florida rap, we're gonna have a whole line of joints coming out and submit to the core build off. Do your thing. I ain't doing nothing, but you should do it. You know,
I
Thank you, Joel.
I just bought
No
3
problem.
shirts today.
I love you all, and I love you. Every time you buy a shirt, I get to eat a cheeseburger.
I get a little cheesy cracker.
Holy shit. I didn't know that's how it worked.
Buy this man a cheeseburger. Buy a t-shirt,
This
please.
man, you're gonna have
Yeah.
so many cheeseburgers.
But look at
Yeah.
this. Oh yeah, check out our
We do what we
magazine,
want.
WDW3. We got our toy magazine coming out, and then the Cutting Mat magazine starts production. So we're gonna be having
Hell yeah.
features with builders such as Brian and wonderful people in their community. We're talking
Who, me?
designers that work on properties and stuff. So it's gonna be dope. Make sure you check it out. Holy
We do
Mountain
what we
Print.com.
want.
Do we
We're
want
gonna get
son?
more Ava stuff.
Oh yeah,
more
we got more
delicious
Ava,
Ava
we got more
goodies.
Ava stuff coming out. We got more Ava stuff.
Yes,
We got
delicious.
more stuff.
I want to see a Kyle as Unit 2.
And it's just got 2 big peanut butter cannons
Yeah.
going on there.
Jiffy
Take
Kid.
this, angels. Eat this
But
healthy,
hey,
nutritious
submit,
meal.
submit more features. Make sure you watch this. Check us out on Mechanism. Follow everybody's stuff. It's a great time. And everyone that submitted today, you did a wonderful job. Keep it
Hell
up.
yeah.
Thank you, Joel. All right. Finally back to you. All
We
right.
don't need to hear from this guy. Next.
Yeah, next, boring, next.
Is that
know
Chris
this guy
Pabs,
already.
dude?
It's
You know,
the
so-
return of the
We know this
past.
fucking guy.
Return.
I heard he doesn't know
of the
people's
past.
time.
So thank you guys for watching tonight. It was definitely a great time. Lots of cool builds to look at. Like everybody said, please submit some features so we can feature some of your work. And submit more for critique if you guys are into that. And then the core build off, please submit to the core build off. I have a bunch of prizes that I want to give away. So you guys build something. Just make sure that the core Gundam is the base, and then everything else goes. And then, as I announced, was it Tuesday? Was it Tuesday?
Mhm.
Yeah, Tuesday. Z has generously donated a PG Astray red frame as a prize. So, if you guys want to win a perfect grade, that is one way to do it. And then finally, next week, Saturday the 24th, I am doing a basic photography class. on this channel. So I will. So this is I put it as episode 1 just because I don't know how far we can get in one stream, but I will try to my best to cover essentially the basics. So like I said in my stories, I will cover everything from my setup, and then for people who don't have a fancy mirrorless or a DSLR cameras, if you're using a cell phone camera with a light box, without a light box, with cheap lights, with slightly more expensive lights, and the different styles and techniques that we can use to make sure that we can present your build, your best build in the best way possible. I'll try to make it as simple as possible so that everybody can follow along, and then hopefully you guys get some good results, and I want to see them. So with that being said, guys, I want you all to have a great night. Thank you everybody who joined me tonight: Kyle, Brian, Julio, and Joel. We will see you guys. No problem. Yeah, and we will see you guys maybe hopefully tomorrow for Mechanism. If not, we'll see you on the next one, the next Critical Builds. So take it easy. Have a good night. Adios.
Remember to eat, poop,
Oh
and build.
damn, we're getting started, huh? Let it.